Welcome to the Roll for Regret podcast.
Okay, well then, welcome back to another D&D game, and I just can't contain how excited I am. The dawn of the thaw was supposed to be a fun, jovial time for the people of the towns. Music, food, drink, joy. Instead, the joyous occasion has taken a turn for the worst. Several of the townsfolk have changed into mind flayers. Fortunately, the Iron Wolves were there to put a stop to the aberrant creatures. But to their dismay, it seems that the towns are under attack by yet another dragon. You stand on a hill just south of Bryn Shander, looking over the fields to Dougan's Hole, one of the smallest of the towns. Flying over the buildings is a red dragon, fire erupting from its maw as it passes over the newly restored town.
I'm sorry, you said red.
I did say red, the
Notes,
color.
by the way, we're using proficiency.
Not one.
Oh yes, we have decided to revert to proficiency bonus rather than dice because it makes math easy, and D&D Beyond is easier for it.
Very good. So we have a red dragon coming from Goodmead.
Dougan. Yeah, technically.
It is currently, this very moment, attacking Dougan's Hole.
It's
It
attacking?
is attacking.
It is flying over Dougan's Hole, setting blaze to the newly erected buildings.
All gentlemen, we know from last time, we don't chase it. We let it come to us.
If we chase it, it'll fly to the next town.
So, understanding that over 3 years, the 10 towns have been rebuilding, what is the current status of certain towns? So, there's Goodmead,
So, if you
there's
remember,
Dougan's Hole,
good question. If you
East
remember from
Haven.
our last session, the towns have spent the past 3 years rebuilding. The smaller towns were some of the first ones to be fully restored because they had the least amount of buildings and things. The last of the rebuilding efforts were going to be in East Haven, and they are going to be done this summer. Okay, so everything is going to be done this year, except apparently that's not quite the case now.
So, the dragon has started with the southernmost of the towns that it is
You
attacked.
all have this eerie, familiar sensation. This is exactly the same town that the Shardland dragon had started in 3 years ago. And as Finn had so astutely pointed out, that chasing the dragon, the Shardland dragon, as you did last time, simply urged it to move on to the next town. And it turns out dragons can fly a lot faster than you could walk.
Ay, 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 ay. This again.
Oh, wait.
All right, look alive, boys. Orion, how many people can ride on that griffin?
Not enough.
Can you, me and you?
Yes, the two of us could.
Does everyone
don't-
have their armor and gear?
I mean, I'm a little worse for wear over here, but by the time I get there, I'm thinking me and Orion, we go and we try to slow it down, and you guys, you hightail it as fast as you can.
Are we making for East Haven then?
You don't think we can catch it at Dougan's Hole?
No, not at Dougan's Hole. At the very best, probably Goodmead.
We're looking at an couple hour run.
Or what if we fly? Distracted. I don't know. Get it to chase us?
The two of them can fly. We'll need mounts if we're to keep up in any way, shape, or form. I also have warriors that can join us and provide their might. Though they're better in melee than they are with range, they are warriors of the plains, not dragon hunters.
How do we know that it's going to move on to other towns? The other one was controlled. It was an entity that was directed to destroy the towns. What if what it wants is here?
We don't know what it wants, and we can't risk not acting. We have to act.
It's an intelligent creature. We could go ask.
He's right. This is no controlled construction like the last one. This thing has a mind of its own.
So if the
couldn't
two
want
of you going to go ask what it wants while we get prepared?
Or the two of you can go attack it, draw it out into a field somewhere, and then we'll just be there and draw it to us.
Did you have a location in mind?
Right here? I have no idea. We'll just start running, and then wherever we're at, by the time you get back to us, you just fly down.
How do we get it out of the sky once it's here? Again, I have warriors that are ready and willing to fight for glory and honor, but
Well, here's what
if
we'll
they
do.
can't hit it, that won't help anything.
Okay, this may or may not be public information, but I've been running this little underground street fighting thing.
Is now the time?
Okay, not the time. But what I'm trying to say is, in East Haven, I've got some trained warriors who are prepared to fight as well. So what if you guys head to East Haven with your whole crew over there in Yord, and we'll hopefully try to get it to come there.
Draw it to East Haven, have
We'll make our
warriors
stand.
laying in wait.
This is a terrible plan. It can outfly any of us in movement, and even my griffin is not fast enough to outpace a full adult red dragon.
So what is your big plan there?
My plan is one of us uses one of us uses the DM is being subtle. One of us uses major image to create the illusion of something to draw it into attention, and you can communicate with me major image if necessary. You can have it talk. So what if we were to propose just creating some big thing and asking, what do you want here? Create a white dragon, draw its attention. It's kind of hard to miss an enormous dragon in sky, as we all know.
You're gonna make it here?
Yes.
Do red dragons like white dragons?
No, they hate them. Which is why it would draw their attention.
Well, it's worth a try. If you can cast it now, go ahead and do it and see what happens. Can we see the dragon from here?
Well, a very large red dragon, again, as you're standing on this hill, it's easy to notice in the broad daylight the dragon flying over the town and
So we can see
shooting gouts
we
of
can
fire.
see Dougan's hole from where we're standing here.
Well, you know where it is. It's over there.
And we
right?
just
You
see something
can
flying around.
Yeah, like
Okay.
you can imagine, like you're
Pigeon
On
in the
the-
distance.
like you're on the top of a large building and you're like, well, I can't really see Grand Ledge from here, but I know that it's over there, right? So
Fair enough.
Enough of this.
it's
Orion,
actually not even that far, honestly. Like it's only 6 miles away. It's really not. Like 10 towns is so small. I mean, the reason why it seems larger than it is because you were dealing with blizzards, which just like doubled all the travel times here. But it's really not that far away. You can get from one side to the other in like 8 hours. You can go from Dougan's Hole straight up to Lonely Brook if you wanted. Or 12, maybe.
Cast it.
guess what?
Do it. Whatever you're.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're wasting time here.
You
That's
figure
a-
out what to do. I'm going to gather my warriors.
And find your
Njord is-
family.
Njord is going to leave and begin gathering what people he can see around to gather the people of the north, the Reged men.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
Orion pulls out his horn, which he's proficient in, and blows it. And in the distance, you see an enormous shape leap out of the town and begin soaring our way. That is his griffin.
Linus is going to cast Cure Wounds on himself twice. And then he's going to turn to the group who's going to stick around, and he's going to start being super inspiring.
You spent
All
10
right,
minutes.
Iron Wolves, it's been a while, but you guys remember how to do this. Now, there's a red dragon ain't nothing that we can't handle. So if it comes this way, we're going to hit it. We're going to hit it hard, and we're going to make it wish it never messed with the Iron Wolves. And you guys, you kind of get the sense that although this is a terrible, tragic situation, Linus seems excited to have the Iron Wolves back together as if he has been waiting for this moment to happen.
Walk over to Linus and just put my hand on his shoulder. A good speech. I'm going to cast Death.
And what does Death Ward do?
Protection from death.
Sweet. Very, very, very useful. Okay, so in the process of gathering Regedmen who are nearby, who happen to be at like the fairground, basically, roll a d20.
11.
You managed to find 11 of your warriors that again happen to kind of be in the area. Among them is so you managed to find 11 warriors. Notably not among them is your guard, whose name I do have here somewhere in my... Oh, I opened up the wrong character's reference page. Okay. Whose name is somewhere in here, but I can't find it this very moment.
Which of the 4?
Huh?
Which of the 4 guards? I'm guessing all 4 of them aren't there.
You have 11. You have 11 warriors that you have
Yes.
found. Notably, you do have a bodyguard named Bjorgar Frostmane. You have a person like a king's guard. He's not there.
Okay.
He's somewhere else. Your assumption is he's probably with your wife and children. All right, so you've managed to find these warriors, and you kind of gathered them together at the end of Linus's speech there. And you guys now have a decision to make. So where do you want to go as a group?
Was I able to do that for 10 minutes?
Yeah, it takes you about 10 minutes to gather your warriors together and call them forth. Your griffin comes flying in, so you have that.
Someone gets 16 temporary hit points.
Ooh, high-level gaming.
I appreciate that. So, I will take Linus and we will attempt to communicate with the dragon. If that fails, old song and dance, chop off its wings, roasted over a fire. Yes? Good.
Are we meeting here, or are we meeting at East Haven?
I'm going to Dougan's Hold.
East
You're
Haven
a
is the final resort. If we can't get it to do anything else, we'll make our stand there.
Where do me and my warriors...
East Haven.
Good. That's what I was asking. Men, gather your weapons.
All right.
We march.
Orion reaches down from the back of his griffin, picks up Linus, and just kind of like deposits you behind him before taking to the skies.
Can you close those windows? Someone's out there singing a line. You guys take to the skies on the back of your griffin. The rest of you make your way to straight away to East Haven from where you are.
Nasher, you probably need to gather some materials, correct?
Yep.
Alrighty. In that case, Njord would gather his men together. The 11 that he has tells them to gather any more that they can find in the direction of East Haven and sends them off that way. He's going to join Nasher, see if he can find any more people in town as they go to get his equipment, and then join his men in East Haven from there.
What are you doing, Finn?
I'm gonna stand at the front of the gate, the road to East Haven, and I'm just gonna watch the dragon and watch its movements.
Okay. So, as you guys all go about your various different ways, you, Linus, Njord and Nash are heading into Bryn Chandler to gather your equipment, your gear, and begin to put those together. Along the way, you pick up 1d6 additional warriors who are around and
6.
Okay, so you have 17 total warriors. You can mark that down somewhere. Along with you. Finn, as you make your way over to the gate and you're standing there, go ahead and give me a perception check.
14.
Okay. The dragon seems to be... It's a similar feeling from what you saw from the Shardland dragon before. This dragon is seemingly intent on as much destruction as possible. It is flying over the town and releasing its breath weapon and just igniting buildings. You can make out the small, ant-like people running, the small, ant-sized people running away from the town. You can begin to hear their screams kind of echoing over the valley.
I'm just gonna watch it and make sure to see if it's trying to draw us or the heroes to that town, so we can come back and attack it, or if it's just targeting that city.
I'll say this then. Give me an insight check at disadvantage.
One. So
It's a dragon laying waste to a town. Its intentions are unknown.
Might be
No,
friendly.
well, probably its intentions are destroy this town.
Happy
You had to
fire.
guess. Now, a short while later, you are joined by Nasher Njord, who has his group of warriors with him, and you guys begin to make your march towards East Haven. Okay. Now, flying through the air, And this takes you probably about a half hour or so getting back into the town, getting your equipment, you're putting your armor on. You don't wear armor, you're a barbarian. Putting your...
Taking off my very nice artisan clothes and putting on war garb.
Yeah. And gathering your various different warriors. I will say, while you are in the town, you do find your wife and children, and Bjorgar, your guard, is with them, as you had presumed. And he kind of approaches you, and the queen and the princess are safe. I have them tucked away at Northlook Inn for now. Do you want me to go with you or stay with them?
Stay with them. Get any of our people that are not ready to fight and have them take shelter. There may be a battle coming soon. If you see any warriors, tell them that I'm heading for East Haven. Otherwise, gather women and children together and prepare to huddle down. Keep
Glory
them
to
safe.
Tempest. Fight with honor.
For Tempest!
For Tempest! And Bjorgar goes back to his Northlook Inn and begins to make his preparations. Now, so about a half hour later, you guys are making your way through and along the east way towards East Haven, where your plan is to maybe reconvene with your allies or maybe find out more information along the way. Now, for the other two of you, that is Orion and Linus. On the back of the Griffin, you make great speed towards Dougan's Hole. And you can see that there is a very... the situation in Dougan's Hole is apparently far more dire than you anticipated. I want from you, Orion, and actually Linus, either... how about this? Orion, you can make the check at advantage. Because I think you're trained in Arcana, aren't you? Linus?
Yep.
Okay, so Orion, you can make this check at advantage. Give me an Arcana check at advantage, please.
Oh, no.
No.
12 was the higher one.
Okay. The dragon, you can tell, is quite large. It is larger. It's as big as the Charlatan dragon that you faced before, which means that this dragon is no young dragon. This is an adult dragon, as best as you can figure.
It's matured.
It is very mature. Linus, your passive perception is pretty high, I think, isn't it? Easily, as you're making your way towards Dougan's Hole, you notice that the dragon is not just alone. It's not just like a rogue dragon seemingly flying over the towns and doing his thing. There is something on his back. And as you kind of, squint your eyes and peer into the wind that's blistering at your face, give me a perception check.
$15.
Okay. There's a warrior on his back, it seems. You can figure it's a warrior because he is wearing this plate armor. He also seems to have a great sword that he is wielding. This silver great sword that comes up to sort of a curve at the very end. Very wicked-looking sword. And he is holding on to these reins on the back of the dragon itself. And as the dragon swoops down, he kind of leans out away, and he is making attack at some of the townsfolk as the dragon is sort of doing his thing. What's more is as you guys are nearing the town, you can see that there are several other of these warriors in the town itself, and they are fighting and attacking the townsfolk. It seems that anybody who's fleeing the town, you can actually tell there's almost like a perimeter that's set up in a way. There's some warriors who are kind of peppered along the outside of the town. Anybody who flees the town is chased down and attacked. And the warriors are, you can see that they, whatever are there, they will disappear, vanish from one place, and then reappear in another place in order to slay the people who are getting away.
Linus, I have a favor to ask. So, who are riding on? His name is Windchaser. Windchaser, this is Linus. He's a good old friend. Don't eat him. Now, Windchaser, I want you to listen to what Linus has to say. Linus, go gather our friends and their forces and bring them here. I don't think they're going to be moving on to the next town anytime soon until they decimate this town. Good luck. And then Orion
Wait.
will slip off of the back of the griffin and cast Featherfall to stop his descent, probably unreasonably close to the ground.
The griffin just kind of give me a good eagle sound. Turns and soars northward, making its way up towards East Haven, with you clinging to its feathery mane. And you just kind of feather fall to the ground. Like where exactly? Inside just in the middle of town.
Probably to the north of it.
On the road above the town.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to the north of town, you gently alight to the ground.
All right. I will. So Orion pulls out and ignites his Sunblade, and then proceeds to cast Major Image. Probably a good. See how far the spell actually is for range. So 120 feet. He creates an image 120 feet into town in the air. An enormous white dragon which bellows, "What do you want here?"
Okay. Okay. Your dragon just kind of like erupts into the air and floating there, bellows out in common. You watch as the red dragon circles around. Its wings kind of tuck in and it spirals into the air and just barrels straight through your image.
Right. Well, that went about as well as I'd anticipate. So instead, I will begin to move into the town, just marking off my major image use. And I will cast Mirror Image on myself and approach the nearest, like one of these guys who's attempting to slay people.
Oh, sure. Okay, well, you can see this person looks almost elvish. In a way, he is wearing half-plate armor, wielding a great sword. This one is, again, this like silver kind of color. Very wicked looking. He looks elvish with perhaps, he's got like almost like a light green skin. Almost brownish green with flecks of like kind of dark green peppered around this. Looks I'm getting from my players right now, like sort of flecks of dark green kind of around his face and on his hands and arms. And as you approach, he is at that very moment impaling one of the tensfold people into the wall, and then just rips his blade away from it. He doesn't seem to notice you yet.
Orion will bellow out at him. "What purpose do you have here other than to slaughter innocents?"
Okay. He kind of pauses, looks over his shoulder, and turns at you, grinning, his blade dripping with blood. And he mutters something to you in a language you do not understand. Now, returning to our other friends, it's been about another hour or so as you guys trek and make your way to East Haven. There is obviously quite a commotion going on here, as people are fully aware of the dragon that is attacking Dougan's Hole by now. There are people shouting. There are guards arming themselves and preparing the various different ballista that they have to attempt to defend the town. There are shouts of people trying to rally themselves. We will not let East Haven fall to yet another dragon. This is the last dragon that will take our town, and they are basically preparing to fight as hard as they can against this terrible creature.
I'm just running, wheezing. I wish I'd done more cardio in the last 3 years. Instead of just sitting in the church. My lungs are burning.
Linus, wouldn't it be more prudent to send your people to Bryn Shander?
Did I make it back? Am I there or what?
A few, yeah. And you join up with them.
Okay, so does the griffin have a saddle?
Yes.
Okay. So it was a smooth trip, more or less.
Yeah, and out of one of the saddlebags pops a small owl that looks familiar.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, all right. So Orion did his thing and he went rogue. So he wants us to go and make the stand at Dougan's Hole. So the dragon that has a rider on it, I could only see from a distance. I don't know, before Orion literally just jumped off the griffin and sent me here.
Was it a wizard?
Well, I don't know. He had a sword. Looked like a warrior. I don't know. Didn't look very wizardy to me, but who knows?
Might be fortunate for us then.
Linus, question for you. You've been in charge of this town for some time. Do you have any air defenses, ballistas, anything like that in town?
We've been working on some stuff, but it's not quite there yet.
We'll have to make do then with what we can. Do you have archers?
We've got some, and they're not the best, but they'll have to do. Look, I'm working with a very small budget. I'm doing what I can.
Should have all stayed in Bryn Shander.
Probably. But should we stay here or we continue on?
So we
It
press
seems
on.
as if Orion has first-hand knowledge of what's going on and says to come to Dougan's Hole. I say we do that. If the dragon heads north, we'll be right in its way.
It certainly seemed like it was not going to stop until it killed everyone in Dougan's Hole. Now, how long that's going to take, I don't know.
Okay,
I
well-
also should mention there wasn't just the dragon. There's these warriors. You said they were like disappearing and reappearing?
You recognize it as teleportation magic.
They're teleporting, so magic users. Yeah, right. Fun.
Fantastic.
A couple of my men grumble under their breath, and being the superstitious Northmen that they are, I feel the same a little bit. Though I have been hanging around magic users somewhat more than they have. I understand that
We
they
should
have
hurry.
Superstition, and yes. Now, if there's warriors on the ground, we can deal with those while you and Orion deal with those in the air.
I mean,
That at least gives us something to hit.
sure. Sounds like a plan.
Men, for Tempest and glory!
The battle song of the Brigade Men fills the air as the small brigade begins to head forth. A little side note. We talked about this a little bit. Your entire brigade, all the towns together, after the devastation of the Everlasting Rhine, I think we talked about was about 120 people total. That's including women and children. You have probably like a third of your entire warrior force with you at this moment, just so you're aware. The rest of them, as you were making, they seem to have been lost either in the party, the celebrations and things, or perhaps have been found by your guard now at this point and are doing other things. But you have really with you at this point about a third of your forces.
Of my total fighting forces.
Yeah, you have 17. I would say I think we talked about you have like 60 warriors, something like that.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at just about a third of your total forces. You're fighting ready forces.
Yeah. So knowing this and realizing that I have a very diminished people. Even over 3 years, we can only do so much with what we have to work with. My men are going to be ready for war. They're going to be ready for battle, and they're going to be ready to claim glory for themselves. But I'm also going to have them, as we go, be instructed to deal with warriors that they can face on the ground and leave the dragon to the rest of us. Try to avoid the dragon, remember their families, but fight for Tempest and for honor and take on warriors that they can face on the ground with honor. So
Okay.
they're going to not focus on the dragon as we go and try to avoid that conflict, but they are going to face warriors as needed as if we end up in a full battle.
All right. So as the group begins to make their way down, singing the Song of Tempest, you guys are accompanying Finn and Nash are accompanying them, I presume?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you doing, Linus?
So I would, since I have obligations to East Haven, I would tell them to prepare themselves, but I would not take people from East Haven with us because they need to stay there to defend East Haven. So I would lag behind and give out some orders and instruct them to prepare, but then I would go and catch up. So
Okay. Very, very good. While you, as you've sort of lagged behind, and the rest of the nomads and your allies have moved ahead.
Well, I do have a griffin.
You are on a griffin, so you could catch up with them pretty quickly. It wouldn't be too difficult to do
Assuming that I can just... It doesn't have a mind of its own. I mean, it does, but...
I told it. to
Assuming I
listen.
can control it, not really even knowing this creature.
As everyone kind of pulls away, a hand rests on your shoulder for a moment,
Ah, what?
and you turn and look, and standing next to you is a black-haired woman. She is wearing forest green robes with a gold hem to them, and looking really every bit someone who would be ready for a party. And you recognize her immediately as being your friend, Elysia Stormwind. No,
Ex-wife number 2.
Elysia Coldwind,
Not quite.
excuse me. Elysia Coldwind. And she, as you turn around, she just immediately wraps her arms around you and gives you a big hug. Despite the chaos that's going on around you, she seems to...
So, are we on the griffin, or...
You're giving orders, and
Okay,
like,
so
you were
around
just
East
about to
Haven.
get
Okay,
away.
okay.
Everybody else has kind of gone ahead, and then Elysia has sort of showed up. And she wraps her arm around you, and she goes, "Darling, I am so glad to see you. I can't tell you how much I've been hoping to run into you during this beautiful festival. A lot of chaos going on right now."
Yeah. You have the thing for showing up in the worst moments. You know that?
Oh, it's now a bad time.
Well, let's see. The town south of us is being absolutely desolated. Yes, I would say it's a pretty bad time.
Oh. Well, you didn't seem to complain the other bad times I showed up.
Well, I mean, those weren't as desperate times as they are now.
Okay.
You know, I'm a man who's got responsibilities now.
Who's attacking?
Well, what are you blind? Can't you see there's a dragon? Looks to be in Dougan's hole, just destroying everything.
She takes your hand and she runs down the street so she can get a better view. And she looks, and as she does, she sort of pauses in her tracks, and you. She doesn't physically look. She doesn't look any different, but she has the same expression as someone who is absolutely terrified. Where you were expecting to see like her cheeks, like her the color drain from her face. She just kind of pauses, looks at this scenario, this dragon flying over the towns, and the small brigade of Reged warriors and adventurers traveling before. And she turns to you and takes your hands, and she says, "You must stop them.
Yeah, you know, it's on my list, right at the top.
It's more important than you think. You need to stop them."
Why do you say it like that? Well, you know
No,
something?
we don't have time
If
for
you
this.
know something, you got to tell me.
"I will tell you everything in due time, please." And she brings you back over to the griffin, and she's, "Now, quickly."
All right. Okay, all right. Then I get on the griffin and like just kind of look back at like I don't understand this woman.
You take off into the air, and no sooner does the griffin alight off the ground and begin to take to the air, you glance back, and she's gone. Like the moment you turned away, like Batman. Like the moment you looked away, she vanished, it seems. Now, for the sake of, I don't feel like rolling separate initiative, go ahead and roll me a D4, Orion.
2 on the dice.
These warriors are particularly powerful and elusive. They're very, very skilled. You have lost your mirror images, but you have killed 2 of them by yourself. Because I don't feel like rolling extra combats for just one player. So
I'm slipping. I need to work on my skills again.
You can hear, even through the chaos, the battle cry of the Reged warriors coming down from the north. So it seems to you by this time, as you've been picking and choosing your battles, right, you're kind of pecking them off.
He's really fast.
You're very, very fast, right. But the trick is there's like a squadron of them. I will give you some information. Since you've been here, by the time the warriors show up, you would have been here for probably something like a half hour already. You put together, there's probably somewhere in the realm of 20 of them, 2 of whom you've killed by yourself. But they are very well organized. And killing those 2 took quite a bit of planning on your part in picking off the ones who were kind of straying from the rest. You're very intelligent, so you know that attacking a group of them by yourself is really not like the best choice that you can make, especially not without an army or your fellow adventurers to help you. And so you have... It seems like the warriors are, at this point, coming into Goodmead, and will probably be here in the next 15 or 20 minutes. And the whole time, the dragon has not yet landed. It has been flying overhead. One time you saw it leave Dougan's Hole, and you thought for a moment that the fight was over, or at least that fight would be over. But the dragon, you watched in your disbelief and amazement, the dragon left away from the town briefly, swooped down, and there was one lone person running out south of Dougan's Hole, not even where the rest of the towns are, just far and far away, as quickly away and far away as possible. And this dragon seems to have gone well out of his way to swoop down and eat that person, and has returned back to the towns. By now, every building is on fire. There is not a single building that doesn't have some kind of flame on it. About half the buildings are destroyed, or about half the buildings that are like just burning embers. And the number of civilians left in Dougan's Hole is dwindling dramatically.
Okay. In my efforts to slay those 2, have I drawn the attention, at least, of these foot soldiers? Of these noseless ones?
Have you drawn their attention? You drew the attention of the ones you killed.
I mean...
Are you trying to draw their attention?
Yes.
Okay.
Away from the civilians. Well, what remains of them, I suppose.
Why don't you describe to me your plan?
Well, so his... See, this is the hard part. With the other 2 wiped out, effectively he would have been using his advanced movement, really speediness, to move in close enough, attempt to shout down, because he's wielding a sword that literally emits light like the sun, to basically draw any that would come, and if they would separate from their group, then he would attempt to, sparingly engage, striking, move in, flee, kind of trying to draw them away from all the people that they're just hunting down. Of course, being careful not to be pincered by them.
It seems that they have a goal and a purpose in mind, which is to kill these people, which is further evidenced by the dragon flying very, very far out of his way in order to catch a single runaway. And the people, or the warriors, are not necessarily intent on fighting you directly, as much as they are as killing as many of the Dougan Hole townsfolk as possible.
So they're just ignoring me?
More or less. If you get too close, they attack you, and they try to, but when you run away, they just figure you're not worth it, and they have other fodder to kill.
If they do follow, they're going to explode because booming blade. So, but that's irritating. I mean, they literally are just, for the most part, ignoring me.
So it's clear to you know what? I'll tell you what. Give me an intelligence check.
That's a 13.
Okay. In your experience with trained warriors, specifically people like Njord and Nasher, when they set their mind on something, when they set themselves to a thing, especially if they have a goal higher than anything else, they are going to achieve that goal first, right? So it seems like they're these warriors are here on a mission, And killing one person isn't that mission. It's killing a lot of people that is the mission.
Okay, then I will attack them from ranged until they cannot ignore me, or they lose more people. Using magic specifically.
Here's what we'll do.
It's like I understand from like the macro scale. Want to wait for the friends, but I also know Orion would not be able to just stand around while these guys just murder everyone.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Roll a d8.
4.
Okay. You have managed to safely hide 4 individuals into the forest near Dougan's Hole,
Okay.
separating them away from the group. So rather than running like a weird combat with just you for the next hour and a half, we will have you just save some people, which would also count for the 2 that you killed who were kind of chasing them down, right? So you managed to save 4 people, and they're hiding in the woods near Dougan's Hole. And by the time you have finished with that process, again, being aware as how effective and efficient these warriors are, the Reged warriors have now appeared north of Dougan's Hole, along with the rest of you. So, to kind of lay the scene for all of you, as you guys are coming in from the north on the road, Dougan's Hole, which is a very small town, is in the midst of being destroyed. Of the something like 35 or 40 buildings that were there, half of them are gone. They're reduced to smoldering ruin. The other half, every single one of them, are on fire. Screams of people is everywhere, and the dragon's roar in flames can be heard near constant as this huge size red dragon comes flying overhead in various different circles. The approaching army, however, has not gone unnoticed, given that that is not the way that the Reged men like to approach a battle. They like to approach just with all their cards on the table. And they are in the midst at this moment of singing the Song of Tempest. You have drawn the attention of a dragon.
Alrighty. I will have instructed my men, once we reach close to the town, to divide into groups of 3 each. I have 17 warriors, which means that there's 2 left over, which will be with me.
Okay.
Once we get close enough to the town and the dragon has reached our attention, they will begin to scatter into groups of 3 so that we're not all bunched up for one nice, crispy barbecue of Reged men.
One cone later.
Okay. Okay. Not only have you drawn the attention of the dragon, you've also drawn the attention of several of these warriors, and they're close enough now to see them. They do indeed seem to not have any noses. They are elf-like in nature, and are wielding these great swords with this plate armor that is encrusted with these like kind of red sort of gems in periodic places on their armor. Your warriors spread out, and you are met with a series of other of these warriors as well. There is sort of a pause, and the silvered warriors rush forward to engage in combat. So here's what we're going to do. I want your tokens on our battle map lined up wherever you would be. Off the top.
Somewhere?
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a griffin. Andrew, in my closet. Yeah, in that closet there is a black shelving little thing, and on top of that is a little griffin token.
For ease, if you'd like, you could say he dismounted.
I got plans.
Oh, okay.
Aerial plans.
Ah.
Very good.
Hey.
Levi, I've placed these two D6 as number 1 and number 2 of my ragged warriors that are with me.
Okay. Go ahead, please. Don't use the warrior minis. You have so
Oh no.
awesomely painted and printed.
What would you have of me, Levi? Would you think I would have moved to regroup with my companions, or
What would you do?
Orion probably would have seen them as they were approaching? He would have seen them approaching and would have attempted to meet up with them.
With your speed, you're successful enough.
You painted all of these?
Holy cow. That's still a lot of...
Like Crispus is one of our players who produces these pretty printed, painted figurines.
Raw, real.
Finn. Oh, sorry.
13.
Finn, okay. Orion.
17.
Nasher.
Dirty 20.
Just like those 20s dirty. Nord.
18.
And Linus.
17.
Hey, you guys. Killing it on those initiative rolls.
What?
You mark that you have death ward for 8 hours?
I did not, and I don't know what that means.
It means if you go
That's
down to 0,
money.
you automatically pop back up to 1.
Oh, so it's like a fairy in Legend of Zelda.
Yes. Yep. Worse.
An undead fairy.
Oh, interesting. Meltodextrin is some kind of binding agent. There's another word here. Oligosaccharide? I don't know. That sounds like a Naruto thing. It is produced from grain starch by partial hydrolysis. Hydrolysis? That's probably what it is.
Hydrolysis, yeah, I think so.
And is usually found as a white hydroscopic spray. Will you stop making up words? First off,
They use
a spray dried powder. All right, he's an acid wizard, as best as I can figure.
There you go, yeah.
He's
They get a wizard. He's got
Yep. That's
little
his
candy
arcane
briquettes that go
focus.
flying out. It's not like firebolt. It's a flaming briquette that comes.
No,
Or
no.
you can
He
use
casts-
acid,
he
break
casts,
people down into sugar, and make them into candy.
Is there an opposite
breaks
of
people
grease?
down. Oh, he's like a hag.
Yeah.
He melts people down into little like glucose things, and then like cooks them into candy.
horrifying.
She sells candy at the fair.
Save that for the Halloween session.
Yeah. Love
Save for the
hags.
Halloween session.
there we
Oh,
go.
yes.
Like all the Pez dispensers
Stay
breathe
tuned
Pez
for the
instead of
Halloween
fire.
session.
She calls
where we have
everybody
a
sweetie.
Melodextrin hag.
Melodextrin the hag.
Oh,
Come on, sweetie, try my candy. The more you eat, the sweeter you are.
Your hag is like my favorite voice too. So
yeah.
My
you do a
hag
good
voice.
hag. Yeah, that's
Thank you.
That's right up your wheelhouse.
Horrifying.
That and
Top-notch.
talking whales.
Talking whales.
Yeah.
Talking whales. Winning.
For those of you who've played the Icewind Dale campaign, just hope your DM does a good talking whale. All right. At the top of the initiative, we have Nasher. So, before you are several warriors who are apparently preparing to gear into combat. For the sake of, I don't feel like rolling 17 additional initiative rolls, along with a number of other additional rolls, your warriors are on the outskirts of you, fighting in combat with other of these armored warriors.
Was my assumption.
Because I don't feel like...
With the other dark who's.
Ambient sound of battle.
Yes, ambient battle sounds commence. Let's get our sound guy on it. Ambient battle sounds. Oh, he did it. He's on. Look at him. He's sharp. You know what's up.
We
He's
love
paying
our
attention.
Foley
Wilhelm
artist,
Screamer
man. We
too.
love our Foley artist.
I just wish we had surround sound.
Yeah, well, you know, hey, listen.
for the renovation front.
That's right. All right. So, Nasher,
Yes.
you have before you. It seems that there are about 6 of these warriors who are apparently intent on engaging in combat with you, with the lot of you, the heroes.
Fantastic. Nasher will call upon the power of Tyr and enter into his righteous fury, casting rage.
Casting rage.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You're really mad.
I think in Pathfinder, rage actually is a spell.
Yes.
There is a spell, yeah, that gives you an equivalent effect.
Right.
So-
There's actually potions of rage in D&D as well.
You bite your bottom lip, bear down on yourself, and you enter into a rage.
When you make that face, and all I can think of is Fievel Goes West when he convinces the cat to just freak out.
Yeah, the lazy eye.
I need to check my distance here.
Linus, where's your mini? Okay.
How far can I throw this trident?
I like that you haven't tried it.
Right?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
+1 trident.
Let's say 60 feet, right?
Yeah.
At disadvantage,
so-
unless
dis-
you're reckless. No, reckless is only a melee attack.
Okay, well, get me within 20 feet of that guy. Now your charges forward. But I can move 50 on my own. So,
Easy.
good enough. And then I'm going to pull out my +2 trident and throw it at the lead no-nose green guy with sharp ears.
Go ahead and make your attack roll. Oh. I was looking at something else. And I started laughing because I was like, what the heck happened?
Going to be a 22 to hit.
That does, in fact, hit.
Okay, and that's going to be... Adds in my rage. 8. Okay, no, I don't add it because it's not melee. So that's going to be 8 damage. Did we say that was a trident of returning?
Nope.
Chucks.
Good try.
Yeah.
He maybe picks
So
it up
it's
and
worth
throws
a
it.
try.
Here.
I am down to be deceived. Anything else?
That's going to be all I can do.
Then we move to Nord.
Njord will lift high the hammer, Aegis Fang. Seeing battle commenced, he will... let's see, we can go 5, 10,
Pavlovian.
20, 25, 30. Get up to
Roll for
that
initiative.
place.
I can't do a thing.
He's going to move forward
Well, there's
towards the enemy, 30 feet. I'm going to use an action to dash
great.
as well. So another 35, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 towards the enemy. And as a bonus action at my turn, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith. That will bring my AC up to 20.
Very good. Solid move. That's the end of your turn.
That is the end of my turn.
Linus.
I'm going to swoop on my griffin somewhere in this region above the fray here.
Yes.
I'm going to rain down a fireball right about here that's going to hit, let's say here. So there's going to hit 3 guys.
3 of them. Okay. A fireball descending from on high.
And the save is 16.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get some saving throws out here. Two succeed. That won't be a failure.
24 is the total, the full damage. Bad rolls.
Gotta use the app. Click it, see what you get.
You fly overhead with the griffin and you pick a spot and just as the fireball falls from your fingertips and into the ground, 2 of them manage to sort of jump out of the way at the last moment. The last one didn't quite have the reaction speed and got kind of caught in the full blast. But by the end of the fireballs, they are still standing. Anything else, Linus?
Yeah, I'm going to shout down to Njord. All right, Njord, hit him hard. Hit him right where their nose should be. And that's going to give you a extra D8. Bardic Inspiration.
Noted. Orion.
Right. So the first thing Orion does is takes the pose and begins his blade dance. Or blade song, I should say. And he will
What's that sound like?
He'll cast Mirror Image on himself. Put another one of those on. Multiple versions of himself as he begins to move swiftly into the fight. Echo behind him. And he will spin 15, 20. He will dash up to there.
Okay. You begin your salsa dance and then rush forward. I don't know. What kind of dance is it?
Think like a fencer.
Oh, okay.
So flamingo.
It's a flamenco.
He just shuffles the entire way sideways,
It's all just jazz and tap.
like the West Side Story. Like,
Yeah.
You have a sombrero.
That's how he's casting all his spells with his snaps.
Like 3 snaps per clone.
Finn.
want to move up 30 feet.
The nice thing with Mirror Image is you have backup dancers.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast first level Guiding Bolt on this.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like good that one.
Okay.
25.
That will hit.
Much damage.
Searing radiant energy launches from your hand, strikes into the warrior who is now aglow slightly with the radiant presence.
And I'm like,
The warrior number 1 is going to rush for a double move. And warrior number 2 will rush for it as well and double move. They are trying to get within range. Both of them have like 1 spear each. They don't want to just lob them and have no weapons. So they are wielding their spears. All right. The warrior that is right in front of Orion will step into combat, and he is going to attack you, Orion.
Okay.
And I believe he... so he's going to make his first attack here. Natural 1. He just... seems to be thrown off slightly by your display.
My dance.
By your dance. People don't. Oh my gosh!
Just in his face.
Odds? Well, he was thrown off so much by your dance that he neglected to attack the first time, and then slid and fell onto his booty the second time. He is sitting down, and that is how he ends his turn.
oh, the major.
He could use half his move to stand up.
He's prone.
Yeah, no, he's prone. He just fell because it's funnier.
He must be the green beard.
Okay, you are up in the air on a griffin.
Yep.
So that warrior. How high up are you?
40 feet.
Good
Wait, what's his range? No, I'm just kidding.
Whose range?
I'm outside of his
Just
range.
blinks in the air.
Whatever his range is, I'm
The
outside
Griffin
of
has
his
an
range.
80
1
foot fly
foot.
speed. Just be clear.
One range increment away from. That's pretty funny. I like that.
Do you think he psionic jumps and he just leaps at you?
Well, they
Okay.
were teleporting earlier.
He is going to run underneath the griffin that's flying overhead, and he's going to attack. I believe that's Nasher.
Mm-hmm.
Here he goes.
Chapu chapu.
The griffin poops when he's under him.
Just don't redeem yourself.
It hits him.
Wait, is griffin poop like a
13
lion
misses
or an
you.
eagle?
Correct.
What did you say? Is
Is-
griffin
yeah.
poop a line or a cone?
Is it no? Is it like a no? Is it like a lion or an
Line
eagle?
attack or a cone?
So it's like bird.
I mean,
or
it
just like
eats like a
liquid.
bird, but does it poop like a lion?
Who knows?
It actually eats more like a
yeah.
lion.
He misses.
Pretty sure it's like liquidy, like a
question.
bird.
I just heard that question after I after I rolled. Like, who knows? And then I heard it's like afterwards. Oh my gosh! I would say it probably poops more like a lion than a bird because its body is so.
Yes, the digestional tract.
So
they would
does he
have,
get
right?
a poop of opportunity here?
You know what he
Poop of
does,
opportunity.
and the Githyanki or the warrior is going to roll natural 17 to avoid it.
Great. I'm glad we
Dexterity.
got through this.
Glad we spent time on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was excellent. Warrior number 3 is going to move up next to Njord. Yep.
Aw.
Actually, no. He's going to move to the warrior behind you. He's going to move up to your Reged ally in the back. Yep, and he's going to attack him. That will miss. The first, wow, these guys do not roll well. That one will hit, however. Gosh, it only takes forever to do some damage here. And you know what? I'm going to do like this. I'm going to roll, no, not attack. Let's roll some damage. Okay, and then... So we're going to go, that was, oh, okay. Wow, great. Love it. You watch, Njord, as the warrior runs past you to one of your Reged troopmen. With his greatsword in hand, he swings high on the first one, your warrior leaning back, digging his spear into the ground and avoiding the blade. But the warrior with the blade is very fast, and he very quickly turns the blade around and stabs it into your warrior's chest. You watch as your Reged man doubles over, the blade is drawn away from him, and that particular warrior with a greatsword turns his attention to your other ally.
Alfred, no.
Before you have much chance to react, however, another one of the warriors rushes towards you. Yep. And she is going to make an attack. 21 to hit you.
Hits.
Oh, yeah. That is going to be 11 points of slashing damage plus 8 points of psychic damage.
Grass.
And he's going to attack again. This one will miss.
I'm good with the concentration check. I got a 16 plus 2,
Got
so
it.
18.
So she rushes forward, shouting in a language, again, you don't really recognize. She brings the blade forward and slashes it into you, and then the second attack glances off your armor. The next warrior will actually come in to flank you. Natural 19 plus some is going to hit for 9 points of slashing damage and 11 points of psychic.
So 20 total.
Yes.
I have no resistances to either of those. So.
Yep. And then the second attack will miss. That one? Okay. So there's one more. This one's going to move up. Ooh, yeah, he's going to move up a few feet and disappear. You watch as he vanishes in a swirl of mist, and he reappears behind Orion, and he's going to attack Orion.
I succeeded on my second concentration check, by the way.
Dope. I don't
did
think
use
I'm going to
my
give him
inspiration.
advantage because his ally is prone. So I think I'm just going to make him attack like that.
But is it a sneak attack?
No. Does a 21 hit you?
It would. However, I rolled a 16, which means that he will instead wipe out one of my mirror images.
Okay, and then a 22.
He will instead wipe out a second mirror image.
Okay.
They're
Your
being loosed.
images behind you are disappearing very rapidly as he sort of appears. This warrior appears to be somewhat more competent and begins to swipe into your things. Now, you guys hear a deafening roar as the dragon comes swooping from nearby and releases a gout of flame, washing in a way that avoids as many of the allied warriors as possible, but taking out a swath of Regedmen in just a burst of flame. The dragon circles overhead and lands on the ground behind you.
That's why I turned to you, Andrew. That's not a good sign.
There's the princess, but where's the dragon? Oh, you're a girl dragon. I mean, of course you're a girl dragon. You're just reeking of feminine beauty.
Oh, Linus just looking
Please
for
edit
another
this out for
ex-wife.
Copyright issues.
Move this warrior, if you don't mind, over next to the dragon, please.
We can put it on the pedestal.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, move that one over next to. No, they're over there on the. They're flanking you.
Yeah.
The dragon's back there. Yep.
Take the mini.
With that warrior. That
And we're
we
going to
moved
put
aside
that
from
mini
before.
on the dragon's pedestal so that it
Yes.
indicates.
With
Be careful of the wings. They're very fragile.
what we're looking at is another very baller, dopeness, 3D printed dragon.
Which I will take a picture of right now.
It is truly exciting, right up until it kills you.
Very, very exciting indeed.
I have pictures.
Yes, but it needs to have pictures in action. Alrighty.
Now. Yeah. He's going to land right there, and he ends his turn. From on the dragon's back, the warrior that is sitting there calls out to you. Drop your arms, surrender your lives. Fighting is futile.
You must not know who we are. You know who you're messing with? You're messing with the Iron Wolves. Well, why don't you say so?
Does that mean something?
Well, let's just say you're not the first dragon to try to attack this town, and it didn't work out so good the last time.
To be clear, this isn't the dragon speaking. This is the warrior on his back.
Well, you're not the first person to try to use a dragon to attack 10 towns.
Is that what this place is?
What, you don't even know where you're attacking? What, you just go around and look for villages to destroy?
They didn't have time for this idle conversation. He dismounts from the dragon, walks over to Finn, who is conveniently nearby, and he is going to attack you.
It's a legal move.
legal.
I'll allow it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. When the dragon lands, he is going to do his frightful presence. So I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of the dragon. Hey, great. Burning inspiration left and right.
What modifier were we
I'm
using?
also going to use my
Wisdom saving throw.
You can also
Wisdom.
use
Oh wait,
your...
no, I don't have to. I'm immune to fear.
Okay.
Oh, well, you have the bardic inspiration, too.
I
got sound guys handing me inspiration.
Checks. As a
They're all like,
paladin,
I
I'm
don't
immune
want-
to fear, as are my men.
Andrew, you're about to find out why I don't use these dice.
Oh no, Joey. You had
Okay,
advantage.
wisdom saving throws. What was yours, Finn?
16.
16.
14.
14.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
10, sorry.
Yep. All creatures within 120 feet. So I'm going to say you count within 120 feet. If you're 40 feet up
Yep,
from
yep.
where you are.
This is like whole board.
What'd you say?
10
10. Okay.
with advantage.
Nasher, you are so captured in rage that the presence of the dragon infuriates you even further, and you are not afraid. Orion, the presence of this terrifying beast and all that you know that it's capable of shakes you to your core. You are frightened. Finn, it is behind you. That is scary. You are frightened. Linus, your mount is not nearly as intimidating as the mount that man is riding. You are frightened. Okay. Njord, the will of Tempest is that you will not be frightened here. So you're not. Woo! Woo! Tempest!
Yeah.
Warrior God is so great
Go,
for me.
Tempest.
Now, the warrior dismounts. He walks behind Finn, and he's going to attack you. As a side note, those of you in the frightened condition, you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of your fear is within your line of sight, and you cannot willingly move closer to the source of your fear. He will attack you. Does a 17 hit you? Okay, you're going to take... I'm going to roll damage on this thing because I don't feel like doing it another way. Oh, man. So there's only so many ways I can't do this. Actually, here's what I can do. Watch this. Huzzah! Dice roll thingers for the win.
Those are called hands.
You will take 31 total points of damage. And 13, 14, 15, 18, 19 of that was psychic, if that matters to you. Okay.
You had a 16 temper.
He is going to attack you again. Yes, a 21 will hit you. And so I'm going to do it this way. Let's do it like this.
If you ever crit, you gotta let me know, okay?
I will let you know.
Okay.
10 points of slashing damage and 19 points of psychic damage. And one more.
Getting jumped.
Okay. On the last one, he raises his sword and then just sort of pauses. Yields. Nasher.
Screaming in rage, I'm going to hack at the guy in front of me. Oh, I'm going to also pull out my hammer. So I'm now dual wielding a longsword and a hammer. First swing. Against he was guiding bolted, yes?
The one that you were attacking, yes, was hit by the guiding bolt.
Right then, I will roll again.
Hold on. The Griffin. Natural 20. The Griffin's not afraid.
Hey, Windchaser is boss.
21 to hit.
21 will hit him.
Yep. So that's just the first swing here. Gonna be come on.
Oh, Reged Warrior number 2 is afraid as well, by the way.
6. I gotta roll d6 for my.
Both of them are afraid?
The one that's alive.
No one's dead.
Wait, the one's dead?
One's dead.
With the Reged Nomad stats?
Yeah, the Reged Warrior stat.
Yeah.
The
So 13.
Yeah, 1/8 CR stat.
Wait, the ones that we faced when we did Icewind Dale.
No. You faced different. Well, the one depends on what ones you're talking about. You faced. Well, I'm not going to get it. You have
Okay.
Reged Warriors, which is their.
Okay.
Right.
We can talk about this afterwards.
Okay, so 13 with the first attack.
13 damage on that guy,
Yep.
which is.
One directly in front of Nasher.
Yes.
And then I'm going to swing with the hammer. It'll be a 16 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay, then swing again with the longsword. It'll be 24 to hit.
That will hit.
Be 14 damage.
Okay. Do you think that that Nasher, no. Do you think that Njord would be more impressed if you removed his head from his body or ran your sword through his armor and out the other side of his body?
To save time, just to remove his head straight from his body.
Which is very effective because it's a lot easier to do. And you very promptly slice, his head goes flying through the air and tumbles to the ground and rolls at the feet of Njord.
Njord is impressed with the efficiency of the kill.
And so I will Nasher will immediately dash towards Finn. Or at least run, because I can... Yep.
Okay.
Right there.
So you rush towards this apparent commander of sorts and prepare to do battle.
Yes.
Njord.
All right. Njord is flanked by 2 of these green elven noseless bastards. And is going to attack the one who is furthest south of him. I'm going to use my inspiration for this hit because this is important to my plan.
Okay.
So let me go to my actions. There we go. Oh yeah. No, still going to roll with that just to see what happens. Actually, really didn't need it that much. How does 29 sound?
29 will hit him.
Okay, cool. So we're going to hit him with Aegis Fang, two-handed, 1d10 plus 7 damage. 6 plus 7 is 13. The Crusher feat will then throw him 5 feet back,
Okay.
meaning I am no longer threatened by him. I will then swing around the one who is north of me, between my warrior and him, yelling to the man behind me, "Shield wall!" And I will attack with my second attack to get the Yankee, or the unknown warrior who is standing in front of me now, the only warrior that is left in front of me. That is a 27 to hit.
27 will hit.
I'm going to use my Savage Attacker feat to roll twice, taking the higher result for damage. All right, that's going to be 15 bludgeoning damage with the Aegis Fang. And I will end my turn.
Ooh, Linus.
Like a chihuahua barking at a pit bull, I suddenly realize that this is a dragon, and I am acutely aware that I am 40 feet in the air on a animal that I don't really understand. So I grip the griffin so hard that there's just feathers in my hands. Am I 90 feet away from the dragon?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to cast Hold Monster on the dragon.
Yeah, go for it. Okay, so the dragon gets to...
Wisdom saving throw at 16.
Okay. Natural 20.
Of course.
That wasn't going to happen.
And then with a shaky voice, I will call down to Nasher. All right, you got this one, Nasher. I know you can do this. Knock his head off. And that's a D10 Bardic Inspiration for you.
Fly, bird, fly.
Meanwhile, Nasher.
You feel inspired, but also like, you didn't sound so confident.
It's okay. He didn't really hear it. He's just...
Orion.
Oh. Well, the first thing Orion will do...
Oh, sorry. At the end of your turn, you can try to regain your...
Oh, cool, yeah.
Lose your fearness.
I will give that a shot. Okay, that's a dirty 20.
That will win. So you are no longer afraid.
Also, as a side note, Levi, my warrior, now that he's within 10 feet of me, he is immune to fear.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, so Finn.
Huh?
I'm sorry, Orion.
It's okay. So Orion will turn and he will attempt to telekinetically shove the noseless one behind him.
Okay, he makes a strength save.
Strength save, DC 16.
He rolled an 18.
Typical. Right, so Ryan, well, he has to deal with it one way or the other, will actually move. That'll provoke attacks of opportunity.
Okay. I think from both of them, right? Yeah, because even though you're prone, you can still make attacks.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
So
with disadvantage.
the first one, he's at disadvantage, but his ally is standing, so he'll just make a straight roll. Natural 1. He just kind of like drags the sword into the dirt Okay. The other one is going to attack you at advantage. No, just a straight roll. 14 misses you, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
But it will pop the other clone because I did roll to use it, so
Okay.
it's the nature of the spell. I rolled to move one of the clones to protect me, and he hit the AC of the clone. So
Oh, great.
even though it wouldn't have hit me, I still attempted to use it. So I'm just
Great.
acknowledging the last of my 3 duplicates are now gone.
God.
Having moved there, let's see. Actually, move a little bit closer here. And then. So, am I, Andrew? I can't tell from this angle. Am I within 30 feet of like that guy too?
Yeah, because
Okay. Orion will flourish his blade and will cast Steel Wind Strike and will attack all 5 of them. As he disappears in a flash, he appears very briefly in front of each, attacking each one.
Okay.
So, you said I'm afraid, so I have disadvantage?
Yes.
Oof. Okay, so the one on the ground is just a flat roll because he's prone. Okay, so that's a 22.
That will hit.
Okay. Dice roller, because he takes 38 points of force damage.
Dang, son.
He is dead. Instantly.
Okay. The one who attacked me from behind. Oh, disadvantage
I saw that
stole
natural
that 20. But it will leave the other one with a +8 for 21.
That will hit.
All right. As he blinks in front of the other guy, that guy will take 33 points of force damage.
Okay.
what did you?
Steel Wind Strike.
Gotta get me one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
The
This
one.
is the anime protagonist move.
I am the approaching storm. Right, so that guy. Ooh. Yeah, 11's going to miss.
That
right?
will miss.
The one in front of Njord. This disadvantage is really shafting me.
Yeah, it's a dragon.
And then the final one within range. Ooh. That's another 21.
That will hit.
And he will take 20 points of force damage. Curse you, D10!
Awesome. Yeah, and they're just like
And
a
then he will
flurry of blades.
How close do I have to be for your thing?
About
Within
10 feet.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so then you move within 10 feet of your paladin.
Yeah.
Who,
So he
at
just-
that moment, cures you of your fear.
Yeah, he just vanishes,
Well,
snaps
suppresses,
around
I think,
people.
right? The fear effect within 10 feet of you. If
Yeah,
he leaves, now you're...
anyone within 10 feet of me is immune to fear effects.
Is he immune to it? Like he loses it if he has it? Or is it suppressed, and if he leaves your 10 feet, he gains his fear again?
To my understanding, you just become immune to it
I
within
will
10
allow
feet.
it. Okay. Anything else then? All right.
No, I think I did pretty good.
You did great. You killed at least one of them. So good for you.
And
cheers from the crowd. Finn.
All right, last spectacular turn. I'm gonna disengage.
Sure.
Move 10 feet. Cast Sanctuary on. My brain's blanking.
Nasher.
The guy who's about to take some dragon
Enemy
breath to the
killing me.
face.
Yeah, cast Sanctuary, and then so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's fine right there. All right, that's my turn.
Okay. The warrior behind you, Njord, is going to move up. He is going to... Let's see, you gave him a command of shield walls. So he is going to stand nearby, and he's going to take the dodge action, basically. He is going to be prepared. He's going to try to give anybody who attacks him disadvantage. He thinks you want him to defend, so he's going to defend.
Which is what I wanted him to do.
Okay. Now, the warrior that is just next to Orion is going to step into the square. I see he's between squares. He's going to step into the square next to Orion. Yep. No, not quite that one. The diagonal square. Oh, no. Actually, he's going to move in and flank with his other buddy. I see that now. He can flank. All right. And so he's going to attack you, Orion, at advantage.
Okay.
You hear them shouting at each other in their language. 21 to hit.
I will cast shield, and it will not.
Okay. He attack again. 21 misses.
Yep.
The other warrior is going to... he is going to go ahead and attack. You, laid waste to them pretty good, so they're not really happy about it. He's going to attack you again as well, Orion.
Okay.
With advantage. Those miss. Who try again? And 2 misses. All right. The warrior that is over where you were, he is going to move up and attack Finn. Does a 13 hit you, Finn?
No.
Alrighty. And the last warrior is going to just step in and take normal attacks against you, Orion.
Okay.
That will miss, and that will miss. I was almost in that 20, but it wasn't. Okay. Now, the dragon...
This is why shield is a great spell.
Ooh, let's see. Does the dragon... Oops. Nope.
Heyo.
All right. Let's see. Well, he's got a handful of targets here, doesn't he? He is going to... He is going to just simply stride forward next to... Yeah, he's going to stride forward next to Nasher. Let's see what you taste like. As he lowers his head down to take a bite. Does a 19 hit you?
Oh, I see a sanctuary.
Oh, he has to make a wisdom saving throw first. What's the DC on that?
17.
17?
Cleric.
Right. So he did not meet the saving throw for biting him. Is he just ends his... He just can't attack
someone
anyone?
else, if not, then yeah.
Okay. Then he will
Who's the
leave.
attack?
If he can't attack you anymore, then he will leave and he will go attack Finn.
I'm my own downfall.
Okay. So as he leans down and tries to bite at you, a sort of radiant shield kind of pops in and he kind of leans back. Tricks. And he turns and he walks around towards Finn and he'll say, I don't like your tricks. And he is going to attack you with his claw. Natural 17 plus lots. Okay. That is going to be 17 points of slashing damage. And he's going to try again with the claw. Same natural 17.
Yep.
12 points of slashing damage on the second attack.
Hurt.
Oh, yeah. After he is done slicing, do you have to roll...
For sanctuary?
Yeah, for Sanctuary, or is it just on?
Okay. Just on.
As he lays the claws into Finn, you watch, he kind of turns, and you can see that he's kind of got his attention drawn to the commander, the commander warrior. He's kind of like watching. He just sort of turns. He seems really unafraid of most everything around here. He just kind of turns and is watching very carefully. The warrior that is there now flanking the Nasher, the commander, is going to go ahead and make an attack. And he is going to attack you with his greatsword. Here he goes. Does a 20 hit you?
Yep.
Alrighty, so it's going to be 15 points of slashing damage plus 22 points of psychic damage. He's going to go again. Natural 20. Okay. So the way we do crits around here is we max all the
natural 20?
dice. He rolled a natural 20
Use my reaction to
with. Okay.
I don't use it. Sentinel Death's Door. As a reaction, you or a creature suffers a critical. You turn that into a normal hit. Any effects triggered by a critical are canceled.
Okay. So he is
Bro.
going to. He's going to just hit you for some damage.
Death cleric for awesome.
12 points of slashing and 19 points of psychic. And he's going to go ahead and attack you a third time. That is a 20 lots to hit you. And this will be for 12 points of slashing damage and 13 points of psychic damage.
Is that 12 already considering his resistances as a rage?
No, I am giving you straight numbers, and you can reduce them as.
I got it.
All right.
Good deal. Go barbarian. Good.
As he just lays into you with a series of swipes, you watch as like his attacks are very powerful. And the first attack just kind of knocks your blade to the side, leaving you wide open. And as his blade would come in, which might surely have been like a killing blow, there is some strange utterance being carried on the wind.
Bingo wagger at him. Not today.
It's a disdainful finger wag, his eyes drawn away at the last moment. And instead of stabbing through your neck, which is where he was aiming, his blade just kind of slashes across your side. And then he brings it around again for another attack. That will end his turn. Nasher.
Well, I'm just gonna start swinging recklessly then.
Go for it. You get him.
There's nothing else for it. Are you attacking the dragon or are you attacking
I'm attacking the commander.
the commander?
Roll for
Oh,
Sanctuary.
I did not roll for Sanctuary. Hold on. What is the saving
17.
throw on that? 17.
Oh, I remember.
Okay, what does he have here? Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave everything as is. I don't want to undo all that. Please remember your spells that you have up. Okay. Nasher.
The weave lapsed.
The weave lapsed.
A glitch in the Matrix.
Straight glitch in the Matrix.
I beg your pardon.
Okay. It's gonna be.
Are you attacking the dragon or him?
Him.
Him. Okay, got
Yeah. It's gonna be 27.
it. 27 will hit.
Okay. And this is just on rolls or can be on damage?
I think it's just attacks
Oh,
Tax and ability checks.
maybe next time.
or saving throws. Yep.
The Valor Bard does allow you to use it for damage or to add to AC, but that's only for that specific subclass.
I thought it was. I was trying to figure out what it was. Well, like I know I'm not texting, but I'm like
It's gonna be 20 damage
20.
on the first attack.
He's an angry, angry man.
Oh,
This would be the Warhammer now, left hand,
Okay.
with Reckless. So that's gonna be 11, 12, 6, 12. That's gonna be 19 to hit.
A 19. As you
Can I
bring your
use
blade
my
around.
Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
Do I have to declare that?
Before you know the results, yes.
Yeah, well, then never mind.
No, before you know if it
Oh.
hit or not, you could use it. After you know the D20, but before he tells you the result.
I'm pretty confident I just heard the result.
Well, as you bring the blade around, or as you bring your warhammer around, he uses his blade to parry your warhammer away, which increases AC by 4. You can use your Bardic Inspiration now, knowing it's a failure, if you want to try to increase your attack to make a hit.
Okay, so is that 19? That'll be plus 5.
Make it a
24.
24. That will win.
All right. Go crashing through his hand or his sword.
Yeah, crashing through his sword, you bring your hammer into his side.
Going to be 11.
Okay.
Then one more attack. Natural 20.
Nice.
So,
Hey, you going to cancel this crit?
Yeah, I'll cancel it.
but I get brutal crits.
Savagery.
Let's go, boys.
So-
The warrior creature makes an attack on an effect, and the enemy deals 12 damage to a creature. The spell.
It worked out.
Oh, because he attacked. Okay.
So that would be longsword is going to be max damage twice.
Yeah, so we do crits is you will take all the dice that you would roll for your attack, max them, and then roll your dice.
Okay. So it's going to be 16 plus full attack. Hey, max damage. So it's going to be 30 damage.
30
Nice.
slashing damage. Or bludgeoning with a warhammer?
Slashing.
No, slashing because of the last. Okay, got it. Yeah, you bring your blade through, and you can hear his armor. You can actually see that you've split some of his armor and drawn blood. Anything else?
Nope.
Njord.
Njord sees a dragon.
There is a dragon.
He remembers the last time that another dragon was here. Mm-hmm. And this time his family is in the city. Mm-hmm. He is not going to allow there to be a second time. Regardless of the attack of opportunity, he is going to charge the dragon.
Okay. The warrior behind you will attack you.
It's a 20 to hit.
It just misses, drops his blade right behind you and misses the attack.
Alrighty. I will move to flank with Nasher,
Yeah.
and I will begin to lay into said dragon. So, first attack with advantage. $17 to hit.
That will miss.
That will miss. Okay.
His scales are strong.
Indeed.
Love it.
21 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. I'm going to lay in a third level smite.
Go for it.
Okay. So that is going to be with Divine Smite. It's 2d8, 3, 48. And I also forgot the last couple times I have improved Divine Smite, which adds an extra d8 on just any hit that I do. So that's 5d8 in addition to my weapon damage. So let's start rolling some damage here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to use my Savage Attacker first and foremost. Roll that twice. That's 9. I got to roll 5d8. 9 plus 7 is 16. Plus 4 is 20. Plus 2 is 22. Plus another 2 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. Plus another 7 is going to give me a 32 damage against the dragon.
Yes.
He will also be knocked back away from Finn 5 feet because of Crusher.
Okay.
You booped him on the snoot and
Yep.
he reels back.
He's small. He's small enough that I can actually affect him with that, I believe. I'll then move in another 5 feet, so that again I'm flanking with Nasher. And as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon behind
No,
the
wait.
dragon.
You don't move him. He provided he's no more than one size category larger than
My
you.
apologies. He needs to be large. He is huge.
He is huge.
So I will not move him,
He's chonkers.
but I will still cast Spiritual Weapon as a bonus action.
Huzzah!
So let me get to my spells and do that. Make sure that's a level 2 spell. Spiritual Weapon, and then I attack with a +7. 15. I'm guessing that
Miss.
misses. Alrighty. That will end my turn.
You charge the dragon and lay into it. Its scales are very strong. And as you are close to it now, you can see this some of its traits. The dragon, its scales seem to shimmer like molten lava. With veins of fiery orange and deep crimson interweaving across its massive form. As you strike it, its head snakes around and looks at you with eyes that are blazing yellow and seem to be alert and calculating. His wings fully extended. You can feel the heat coming off of his body, and they look like walls of flame, with their leathery texture seemingly invulnerable to both sword and spell. And that seems to be the case. He is very, very strong, even after your powerful attacks against him. Linus.
After being afraid, I gather myself and realize that I've been here many times before, or at least similar situations, and I will direct the griffin to land right below where we were. And then as soon as we do, I'm going to fire a lightning bolt that is going to go through the main dragon rider and then also hit the guy behind him.
Yes.
So that is a dexterity saving throw at 16. One short of max in the birthday.
All right, so the first one is going to fail. The rider is going to 16, you said?
Yep.
The rider, they both fail their saving throws.
That is a 39.
Nice. And that warrior is killed. So that guy, the first warrior in front of Finn is killed. And the rider, so the bolt of lightning strikes past both of you. You can, Finn and Nasher, you guys feel the hair in your arm sort of standing on end. And then all of a sudden there's this crack of lightning that just eviscerates one of the warriors and slams into the other one. He kind of staggers for a moment, but seems to be more or less okay.
Then I'll shout at Finn. Come on, Finn, we've been here before. You can do this. You're going to eat lightning, and you're going to crap thunder. As a lightning bolt just goes flying by you
Eyes are just
simultaneously. So that's a D10.
wide. Inspiration.
Bardic Inspiration.
Alrighty, Orion.
Okay, bonus action.
What's the saving throw for him? 16?
16.
17.
Well, I tried. Sorry. Apparently, so he tries to shove the Githyanki back using telekinesis, but it just kind of resists and grits his teeth. Upon seeing that one stick around, he will instead elect to slash at the one in front of him, and his blade becomes wrapped in thunderous energy. I'm going to try and slash him with the booming blade. That's a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. That is going to be... That will be a total of 24 thunder and radiant damage.
As your blade strikes into him, there is a thunderous crack, and he just moves. His body just gets launched, and he falls like ragdolled to the ground.
All right.
Yeah, so that guy can go away.
Having struck that one down, are either of the other two had either of them taken damage from the steel wind?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Everybody's hurt.
He will target that one, and he will flourish and swing and strike with a normal sword attack. That one will be an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. For 10 radiant damage.
Anything else?
Tragically, no.
Finn. Did you make a saving throw that end frightened on the end of your last turn? Try that real quick.
Nope.
You rolled a not high. Huh?
Well, it's
You can use your Bardic Inspiration on that.
Wait. Oh,
doesn't
you're
matter.
not quite close enough.
Yeah, he's 15 feet away, not 10.
Yeah.
all right. turn around the dragon, staring in his eyes. I'm going to cast Anti-Life Shell on me.
Okay. What does anti-life shell do?
A shimmering barrier extends out from you a 10-foot radius and moves with you, being centered on you and hedging out creatures other than undead and constructs. The barrier lasts for the duration of an hour. The barrier prevents an affected creature from passing or reaching through. An affected creature can cast or make spells within threatening barriers.
Okay.
So
He gets pushed back 10 feet as your magical blade or your magical barrier kind of pops into place.
good. This means he can't reach through because it's a natural attack for the dragon.
Yes.
Well,
Get the dragon away, huh?
yeah. Yeah, I'm down to 35 out of 108.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a big old dragon.
Bonus action. This one casts spiritual weapon. And for
Another spiritual weapon. Okay. Zwing!
I'm going to attack.
Sparkle, sparkle.
Give me a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
1d8 plus 5. 12.
12 points of
So
slashing
five.
damage. Got it. Anything else for you?
I'm going to move over just a little bit. I'm just move over.
Okay, you drop the fear because you are within 10 feet of...
You're comforted as you move closer to your
Moving
paladin.
towards the paladin makes you more comfortable.
Question, with your anti-life shell, does that shove me away, though?
It does.
So it actually pushes
Actually,
me
so
away so
you're
you aren't
still
within
afraid.
You played yourself. No, I'm 15 feet away.
Congratulations. It's your blade shell.
Yeah, and I'm 15 feet away outside of the shell.
Right.
Which means
He's
you
in the
don't
square.
get
He's in
the
the square
fear.
outside.
No,
It's like hugging-
no, you can't get it both ways.
sphere.
You played yourself, boy.
Congrats. You played yourself.
I can keep moving
Oh,
and
that's
shove
funny.
a character towards it.
Okay. The warrior is going to... he's going to move up to join you, I guess, and be next to his king. But he isn't going to do anything besides just being next to you.
I
Takes
haven't
the
given
dodge
him
action.
Anything else other than shield wall?
Yeah, so he's taking the dodge action. He's going to be there. Okay. The warrior is going to move to flank Orion. And he's going to attack with advantage. 21 to hit.
Unless I cast shield.
Another shield. Okay, second attack. That will miss. Next warrior will attack you twice. Oops, that one's cocked. That will miss. And those will miss.
The AC is 23, just to be sure.
Yes, they all missed. They would have to roll pretty much natural 20s.
Rolling for fear at the end of turn.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, that was 24.
You succeed. You are no longer frightened anyway.
Tap in your circle and you push away on it.
Now, taking a series of very powerful blows from the barbarian before him, aimed a lightning bolt to the chest. The warrior turns to the dragon, and he goes, "Paraxius, to me!" Paraxius, which is apparently the name of this dragon, you watch as he sort of surveys the battlefield, and then he turns and he looks at the warrior and he goes, and he utters, "Tropos, I think that my agreement to Tiamat's curse has been fulfilled. I leave you to your fate." His wings extend, and he launches himself straight into the air.
Do the spiritual weapons get attacks of opportunity?
Spiritual weapons can't attack of opportunity. Fly straight into the air. You watch as he spirals up, releasing a gout of flame, which kind of washes over his body as he spirals into the air, and then turns and begins to make his way towards the mountains. You, Tropos, the commander, seeing the dragon leave, "Betrayer!" And then he will turn and attack you. He is very, very angry.
All I can hear is
Here's
Halo's
advantage.
betrayal.
A 16 misses you, I think.
That's my AC.
Okay, so he does hit you with that. So he's going to hit you for 11 points of piercing and 20 points of psychic. He's going to go again. At a 20-something, 21 to hit you. And that will be 10 points of slashing and 19 points of psychic. And then one last attack. 18 is going to hit you for 8 points of slashing and 16 points of psychic. And he is going to call out in this other language, and he is going to allow, so both of those warriors that are surrounding Orion, as the commander, Trobos, calls out in his language, the two warriors both vanish and reappear next to him.
Works for me.
And that will end his turn. Nasher.
I'm going to continue laying into the commander recklessly. 16 or 12. So 16 plus 4. 23.
23. That will hit. You can see, by the way, as you draw your weapon forward to attack him, he is looking at you. He has a sort of a different air about him now. He doesn't seem nearly as confident as he did before with the presence of the dragon. You can clearly sense an air of fear in his eyes.
Good. I'll go for his eyes.
Oh, sure.
So with the long sword swinging, I hit and we'll do... Oh. The imaginary dice stayed on 1. That's going to be 7 and then an additional... Oh, I've been doing that right. That's going to be 14.
14 points of slashing damage? Okay, now you went for his eyes. I'm going to give you a 15% chance that you hit one of his eyes.
Fantastic.
Well, he rolled a 17, so not quite, but very close. Okay, so you do cut him across the cheek right beneath his eye.
Okay, so Warhammer. I'm gonna be tactical. Warhammer on his one of his ally to his
Cohort.
left. Yep, cohort. So recklessly. Natural 20.
Ooh, great.
Give me another one. Okay, I see how it is. That's going to be 7 plus 16. So 23.
So math.
Yeah, so math. Okay, and then the other guy. Uppercut. Recklessly. 15 and or 15. Okay, so that'll be 22.
That will hit.
Okay. Go ahead. You know, I don't... Can't screw me a third time, right? Possible. Impossible. Oh, that 7 looked like a 1.
I saw that too.
It's going to be 13.
A
And then-
series of powerful attacks.
Yep. So, and then once I've hit all 3 of them, I'm going to use mobility and step away.
Nice. So you're like, okay. Can you open the window behind you, by the way?
Sure can.
It's like, I'm feeling like hot as balls right now. Am I the only one who's like sweating right
Got the anti-life shell, so you can only go this
now?
way.
Okay, yeah, I get away from the trio.
Wet. Anything else then for you, Mr. Barbarian?
That'll be all.
Njord.
Seeing the dragon having left and not going towards the village where his family
That's right.
is.
He's not heading towards the village.
He
He's
goes
flying
towards the mountains. He breathes just a semi-sigh of relief. Still, there's a dragon somewhere in the mountains that he has to worry about now. But it's not today, at least, going to hurt any of his loved ones. There are 3 more warriors in front of him. eyeing them all down as Nasher makes his flurry of blows and then retreats away from them. He stands to his full height, and with the might of Tempest radiating around him as this shield and the sword of Tempest literally flaming there in front of them, I'm going to use the Channel Divinity option of Conquering Presence as an action. Force chosen creatures within 30 feet, which is all 3 of them, to make a wisdom saving throw. It's a DC 15 or they become frightened for 1 minute. And I say exactly what the commander said, which is surrender and drop your weapons.
Nice. All right,
And
so
you will live.
the commander is afraid. The warrior is afraid. The other warrior is afraid. They all gain the afeared condition.
That is an action to do that. And as a bonus action, just for emphasis, but no attack, I will move my spiritual weapon. There's a flaming sword of Tempest directly there in their midst between all of them.
Excellent.
No attack. I just want to see what they do.
All right. Anything else then?
That'll be my turn. I stand, no movement, just a conquering presence.
Do they make that save at the end of their turns then?
So creatures can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn. Yes.
Okay.
So their turn is wasted with fear, but then at the end, similar to the dragon's fear.
Yes.
You're not so tough without your dragon friend, are ya? Well, I got something for you right here. Then I reach into my component pouch and then I flip them off before launching a fireball.
Alrighty. Dexterity saving throws.
Look at him.
Alrighty. The commander makes a save. The other 2 fail.
Ooh. 32 is the full damage.
Oh yeah. You, the warriors are reduced very quickly to pile of ash. The commander is still standing, but smoldering.
I'll just kind of smile at him and end my turn.
Orion.
They seem to have things well at hand. Orion, he's going to move protectively in front of Finn.
Okay.
And then he realizes that there's a
Oh yeah,
barrier.
you right into the wall.
And so I will then use my excessive speed to basically kind of try and get around.
Unless you're undead, and then you can walk in.
It's an anti-life shell,
Well, I used to be dead,
not an anti-unlife.
but
shell.
Orion's back now, so technically undead.
So you are undead.
Doesn't quite qualify.
Anything else then, Orion?
No, but he will eye the commander and kind of just flourish his blade menacingly. I mean, it's literally this as bright as a sun.
Finn. Do it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna look at him, dead in the eyes, and I'm like, "Do you hear that? Do you hear that sound? I think I hear it coming from you." And I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead. And a big ding. I'm like, I think that's it's DC
Ask
17
not for whom the bell tolls. For the-
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
He rolled an 18.
I guess those bells toll for me.
Bong.
He's just
Anything
genuinely
else then?
confused, like, no, I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything.
What are you talking about?
I haven't the foggiest what you mean.
Was that it then?
I'm gonna move my spiritual weapon right next to him.
Okay. Rigad Warrior is going to continue with his shield stance. Braxius is no longer here. Well, Homeboy has, seeing the overwhelming odds, he is going to, you watch as he very quickly reaches into his belt and pulls out a, no wait,
Sword. You can just
oh, no, okay, excuse me. You watch as he He holds his sword before him. He closes his eyes, and his body begins to sort of change as there is a swirl of energy around him.
As he attempts to do so, counterspell.
Go ahead, try.
Right. Never counterspelled before. What?
Thanks.
I mean, we've never faced anything. Everything else has been spell-like abilities, not actual spells.
I feel like very little. Yeah, spell like, yeah.
Right. If it's a 3rd level or lower, the spell just fails and has no effect.
It is not a 3rd level or lower.
If it's 4th level or higher, I have to make an ability check. 10 DC is 10 plus spells level.
You can choose level.
What? Okay. So, yeah, I guess I'm just this plus 4. Yeah. So I rolled a 19 on the die.
Oh, okay.
Plus 4.
He does not. Nothing happens. His eyes snap open, and he just looks up at the lot of you, very surprised that he's still here.
You
seemingly.
will go
Y'all slowly
nowhere.
just give him the finger.
And that actually ends his turn. He's going to try to make a wisdom save at the end of his turn for the fear.
DC 15.
He fails and is still afraid. Nasher.
Has he made any indication that he intends to surrender?
Give me an insight check.
Why is that relevant? Just kidding.
Is that?
I am a cleric, so I can just.
I actually do think we should take him alive.
Your fireball said otherwise.
17.
Based on what you've seen from this man and his level of skill, there's a look. You can see the look in his eye. Although he's afraid of you, he is not intent on surrendering. He's like a. You get the same impression as like a cornered animal. He's ready to fight until he's dead.
He's very dangerous. Good. I will charge back in full speed,
Sure.
swinging recklessly.
Remember, if you strike him down with a melee attack, you can choose to knock him out.
I sure can.
You know it's not going to happen.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
How many natural
You were
20s did you
saying-
roll today?
He's not.
Well, I'm recklessly
he's not
swinging,
gonna
so I
hit.
get
Recklessly swinging, so like he
That's
gets
the
to
point.
roll with advantage.
The
but they get to
question
roll with
wasn't
advantage
how
against him.
wasn't what you're doing. The question is how many did you roll? That's like, is that the 3rd crit you've had?
Yeah, it's the
tonight?
3rd crit.
Dang.
I mean, almost all
That's
of
why I
his
switched to this die.
things
Weighted
have
dice.
been,
I have so many monsters I play, and I don't even roll that many crits.
You lie.
we know that that's not true.
I do crit quite.
So,
Orion died to one of your crits.
That's true.
so just to start with, that's going to be 16 plus 12. 8.
Uh-huh.
And then I will do the normal damage.
Uh,
Gordon. Good roll. That'll be. I don't.
It's a counterbalance to the crit.
Yeah, it just makes it feel more right. So that'll be 8 and an additional 8, so 16 more.
It was 20 what? Plus
28 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
You what was the sword?
Mm-hmm.
You slam the sword into him. He drops to his knees and just glares up at you. Coughs up a bunch of blood.
Okay, so I pull the sword out, and now I'm going to come down with a hammer on his forehead.
no hostages.
That'll be.
You get advantage. Oh no, you're using reckless anyway.
Yeah, I'm doing reckless. Yeah, so that'll be 15.
15 misses.
Okay, well, then sword swinging again. I'll just keep the 19 with plus 7, so 26
Hits.
20 lots.
and 10 plus 3 plus 3 is going to be 13 damage.
Is Nasher going to kill him? Okay. You bring your blade across his neck, and he gargles on his own blood and then falls to the ground, very dead.
I guess those bells were for him.
Good. Now, you guys stand in the smoldering half town of Dougan's Hole. There are bodies littered around of both these bizarre alien warriors and Reged warriors and civilians. These townsfolk are sort of peppered around the flaming, smoldering town.
Well, we only lost one town this time, right?
Really? That's how you're going to start this?
It's all about the spin, kid.
I told you all these people should have stayed in Brinchander.
I turn to my warrior, the one that's still alive, and tell him to bring the others together. Those that remain.
He gives you a nod and heads off to do his work.
Orion will crouch down and begin examining one of the noseless ones.
Give me an Arcana check.
That's a 17.
You know what these are. These are Githyanki. The Githyanki are creatures from astral space, similar to mind flayers in their origin from astral. The astral
void
sea as
between
well.
worlds.
They have an intense hatred of mind flayers and actively hunt them.
I think I understand now why they were here. These things are called Githyanki, and mind flayers are their preferred prey. They stalk them across the stars. I think they may have been drawn here by our prior issue.
Wait just a minute. So you're telling me that 10 Towns still has a persisting mind flayer infestation, and we just killed the exterminators?
Yeah, weren't they underground in that city?
To
Good
be
meat?
clear, the exterminators don't care who is in the way. They simply burn down the house with the vermin.
Well, can they be reasoned with? I mean, it sounds like we've got a mutual enemy here.
Orion will dramatically gesture at the dead body of the captain. I don't know. Can you speak with dead?
I don't know. Can we, Finn? I don't know. You've been
don't know. Can
messing
we?
with some dead stuff.
Why are you looking at me?
You're kind of up your alley. You're creepy undead.
Yeah.
I mean, if Valin was here. Has anyone seen Valin?
No, she took off. Didn't even come by to say hi. Probably doesn't know I'm alive.
Oh, well, I hope she's okay.
DM, are there any more of the now revealed to be Githyanki warriors left alive around after the battle?
Very good question. Let me check something out.
You said there was about 20 warriors. We killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them.
Give me a perception check. Make sure you take your time with it, too.
Be very perceptive.
15.
15. As you look around, all you can see is corpses.
Alrighty. So any that may still live probably fled the scene. Alrighty.
Orion will begin moving through the bodies that he was examining, trying to find any sort of paperwork, any sort of documentation, plans, maps, notes. Even if he can't read it, if it's written on paper and written in a language, he's going to gather it up to bring to Linus.
All right, give me an investigation check.
All right, so, sorry, do you want me to wait at least?
No, you go for it.
Let's put this together here. These mind flayers
20.
just started bursting out of people Was this happening at all for 3 years? The mind flare stuff.
If it was happening, I would have told you.
Okay, so this was just for as far as we know. There's been no mind flare activity for 3 years, and all of a sudden they're just bursting at the jousting tournament.
There is exactly one mind flayer like activity that would be going on in 10 towns for the past 3 years.
Your squatter.
In my skull.
And that is the one that is in your head.
Yes, okay. All right, so all of a sudden, mind flayers are just popping up like popcorn at the jousting tournament, and then these guys show up out of nowhere.
And start attacking innocent civilians.
And start desolating the whole town with a dragon who was somehow allied with them. None of this is making any sense to me.
Well, these would be really good questions for the dead guy.
Yes, they would be excellent questions, Orion says with a loaded stare at Nasher.
That's what I said.
Nasher shrugs, reaches down and grabs the commander's sword.
What you're holding on to is a silvered greatsword. You recognize the material with your jeweler's eye. The material is very clearly silver. It's got a red gem in the handle itself. Very, very finely crafted, and it seems to almost there seems to be a sort of almost like a mental draw from the weapon itself. You could feel that it's just trying to access something within your mind.
So I have my ring of shielding. Is that relevant in this scenario?
No, your ring of mind shielding isn't. It seems like something within the weapon, the way it's designed, is it tries to make some kind of mental connection with the wielder.
Okay. Can I submit to this?
So you do. You kind of, as you're sort of holding on to it, you begin to relax your mind and sort of calm yourself. But you find that you are having a difficult time making this kind of connection. It seems that whatever the Yankee are, they are prominent in developing this sort of connection with their weapons.
I'll just put it away.
Yes, put away the 6-foot-tall blade.
I'll fold it up, nice and neat.
Stick it in one of my bags.
I mean, I could just ask him questions. The dead guy.
You can talk to him, and you're just telling us now?
I said that earlier.
Well, then, we'll do it. Do it your thing.
Hold on. Just talking with the dead? Isn't this what we were avoiding?
You could speak with them not coming back. You want them to come back?
No.
Wait, that's an option?
Yeah.
No.
I have multiple options now. I just don't kill anymore, guys. You know this, right? I can save people too.
He really has changed.
If I'm going to go check on my men. Whatever happens while I'm gone.
I'm not
I don't
bringing
want
the soul back, by the way. It's just like, I'm take this corpse that's dead here. I'm just bringing it back, not the soul. The soul is gone to the other world. That's what you care about. It's already beyond. It's already been passed through. It's already been shuffled away to wherever.
You can tell Njord, despite having been around wizards, including a necromancer at one point, he's still very uncomfortable with anything arcane. And he's very, you're just like, I'm going to speak with dead people. And he is like very uncomfortable with that idea as a thing. And he's kind of like, again, he's not afraid of this in and of itself. He's been around magic, but he is like, I'm going to find a reason to walk away at this point.
That's fair.
Some people just can't handle it. Now, if you don't mind.
Well, he might be mad at us that we attacked him. So I'm going to go ahead and shapeshift into a woman, like a light blonde hair woman, like fair features.
You know, it's very confusing when you do that.
And somewhat unsettling.
It's useful. Well, if I just talk like this in this weird voice.
Please don't.
Somehow that makes it worse.
Orion
Just
follows suit with his companion and uses the hat of disguise to appear.
Great.
As
Everyone's got a gimmick.
A red bearded man, partially bald.
I'll like set up the body and like turn it. So you can't
Okay.
Looking at us.
Well, I'll stand behind him then, so he can't see me. But I want to be hearing the conversation.
And then I'm gonna like pull on my bag, shuffle through, light some incense, and just like wave over the body. I'm gonna cast it.
Okay. You utter the words.
Come back to
as
life, you
you
idiot.
Wait, if he's already dead, how do we threaten him?
No, we just want answers of like out of him. Because I'm like waving the incense.
All right. We'll pull up Speak with Dead.
But why would he tell us the truth?
I don't know. He doesn't have to.
Well, then what good is this?
I don't know. We can revive him as well if this doesn't work.
I mean, he wants Mind Flayer's dead. We simply say, hey, you can help us solve the Mind Flayer mystery.
All right. So Speak with Dead. You grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range. You choose that. It is
Correct.
within range. The corpse must still have a mouth.
Just no nose. You got a mouth. You got a mouth.
He has no nose, but he does have mouth.
Could be a
Now, he has a mouth. However, there is a big dent in his head where a hammer had been laid. So he's got kind of like a U-shaped thing going on here. It's like just right in the center of his temple or his the crown of his head there. Just pump this nice dip. Okay. Until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. Okay. As you cast a spell, there's a moment of like a moment of pause.
It takes a bit. Body has to regenerate electricity, right?
If you say so.
That's
I have
not
no
how
idea.
it
I've never done
works.
this
The
before.
what?
Then, slowly sitting up, the corpse kind of raises into a sitting position. One eye is kind of half popped out of his head. The other eye is, just staring off into oblivion. And it just kind of sits there for a moment.
Excuse me. Why were you attacking this town?
It turns slowly and looks at you, and as it does, is this movement enough was for the eye to kind of out of its head and then just dangle on his cheek. Orders.
Not all right. What else do you want to ask it?
Is there a number of questions?
I think I get a handful.
A literal handful.
Whose hand? A giant's hand? Your hand?
Mine. Fingerful. Hand fingers full.
The corpse. 5.
How many questions can we ask you?
3, now 2.
Any ideas? I'll just stay over the corpse. Any ideas over?
Are there more mind flayers?
Are there more mind flayers that you know of around?
Yes.
Could cover anywhere. That could have covered the entire universe.
Where is their stronghold in the region?
Oh, that's also taking other cards. Where is your stronghold in the region?
Far away. Where is your
your
stronghold in the region?
No,
Yeah.
their stronghold.
Where is their stronghold in the region?
Mm-hmm. Well, that was revealing.
Anything else you want to ask?
How many are there?
Too many.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
Well, I
helpful.
think there's one more left.
Is there an elder brain?
There is one more left. A what?
An elder brain.
Is there an elder brain?
Unknown.
Bang it.
And he falls onto his back.
That was useless. Is it like an old person? Like a
You see, this is why you got to do it when they're still alive, because you can threaten them.
You tell that to Nasher.
Yeah, sure. Next time, leave the last one alive, huh?
Does he have 300 diamonds?
300.
300 gold pieces worth of diamonds. I can bring them back.
We know what he was talking about.
Diamonds?
Well, he's
No.
been dead for more than a minute at this point.
I don't carry around diamond dust.
If you remember,
Certainly not for him.
True.
the townspeople had been made to dig in Dougan's Hole by the mind flayers that were here before.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I do remember that.
Oh, yes.
So there's probably a mind. I'll get out of this. So there's probably a mind flayer place.
A hive. So, but how did these... What are these? What'd you say these were? Githyankies?
Gizyanki.
How did they know to come here
give you
to
guys
Dougan's Hole? And were they even attacking 10 towns, or were they just attacking possible mind flayer hosts?
I presume it was possible mind flayer hosts or servants. Mind flayers are slavers. They control people. They don't always just incubate them.
All right, so we need to find the Githyanki. We need to vet our people to see who might have a mind flayer. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Go on. What were you going to say?
The weak-minded ones who may be infected with a mind. You guys know, hey, if this was going to happen, it would have happened 3 years ago.
I think we do best
You are
to
10 years younger, so
stay away from the Githyanki
That is,
for your safety.
I could be a target. That's true. But all I'm saying is the enemy of my enemy is my friend,
Is so
You know
far
that-
an enemy.
or also an enemy. That usually happens to us. Yes.
Nasher gestures to the corpses about they're very much our enemies at this point.
Did I find any documentation on any of them?
You rolled a 20?
Yes.
No, you don't find any documentation on, we'll say, the handful of corpses you searched. You didn't find any documentation.
by the way, we don't have to walk back to the main city. I can teleport us there.
Wait, you could teleport us this whole time?
Of course. You didn't know that?
Yeah, you're just full of tricks that you like to tell us
I can only go
after the fact.
there. I can't go anywhere else. I just want to go back.
Oh, you can just go to Bryn Shander?
Yeah.
How does that work?
My church is at.
Ah, I see.
It's a
That's
hearth.
valid.
You can only fast travel locations he's been to. Don't you understand?
Makes sense to me. All right, then. Well, what do you think our next place should be?
I don't know about you, but I'm going to see if there's any civilians that can help you. After all, we're the leaders of 10 towns.
Well, should we be worried that the people of this town are all infected?
Yeah, they could be popping, like, mind flayer popcorn all over the city as we know it. Right now, for all we know.
Linus, when you walk near the citizens here, do you get any... And he waves his hands in kind of a woo kind of effect. Any weird sensations? Like, oh, hello, neighbor, wink, wink.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No.
But we've been able to detect it before. What
We have?
spell did we use to do that?
We used a Njord.
Oh, yes,
Is it
detect
good and
evil.
Detect evil? We could always do the Njord thing.
Okay, we gather the survivors together and have Nord walk past, the king, observing people in need, while also totally vetting them.
And then how do we do this without causing a panic?
Again, the king's just kind of...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Showing
Please
face.
come over here because your head is going to burst at any moment. Sort of situation.
Well, no, we gather them so that they're like, survivors of the wreckage, we can keep better eye and apply medical attention. And then he kind of walks past saying, hi, I'm the king. I'm here to show face and I care about
Well,
you.
he's not
Except
their
he
king.
doesn't.
Yeah.
I
People
mean-
do have mind flayer things in their head. It's okay for them to die.
Hey. No.
So listen, Linus.
It's not death, it's for liberation.
Some people... You can't judge someone just because they're infected with a mind flare. That's all I'm saying.
Why do you look so nervous, Linus?
Looking a little pale.
I feel fine. Stop it.
Looking a little purple.
I always look that way.
Like a newborn baby.
Circulation problems in his old age.
Purple.
Confused expressions around the... Right. I'm going to go look for the survivors. I will gather them together in the town center just so we can get a toll of who's still living.
You fireball them.
No.
Say a little prayer.
Wait, are you proposing that the gods sort them out?
You know, I thought you had changed, but you're sounding a lot like the old Finn to me.
He's not nearly
He's
as
still
mopey.
Finn.
Still, murderous Finn.
It's okay. We all gotta die sometime. Just not today.
Been there,
Yes.
done that.
True.
I'm going to go help people. You all make your own decisions. And Orion will climb onto the back of Windchaser and will fly into town to try and look for survivors or anyone stuck in buildings. You know, anyone left.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, that's not so bad. 14.
There are bodies peppered around. You fly back to the edge of the woods where you remember you had deposited some people.
Mind flares.
And what you find is that there are 3 corpses. I'm sorry, there are 5 corpses here. 3 of whom are the people, 3 of the people you recognize that you had saved. They are, one has been cut in half, the other one's throat has been slit, and the other one has been ran through with a sword. The fourth corpse you see is the corpse of a Githyanki, and his sword is missing. And the 5th corpse is a mind flayer with a sword sticking out of his body.
Well, that's more than a little disconcerting. Upon basically finding no one remaining, he will return to the group. As he arrives, you can kind of see his expression is not positive. It's kind of downcast. Seems to be thinking. There was no one left. Everyone is dead. I could see. If there are any still living, they're buried under the rubble.
He's gonna kneel down and just start praying. Who's got?
How many of my warriors are still alive after the attack?
7.
7? So I lost 10 total.
And how many detect as evil?
They've been with me the whole time. None of them have been turned into mind flares in the last 10 minutes.
Sounds like something a mind flayer would say.
All of a sudden, this just becomes a game of witch hunt. Just everything's the thing. I'm not it. I'm not it. You don't believe me. Ah! All right, so I've got 7 of the 17 warriors, 10 of which are dead. Me and my warriors will gather what we can of the remains of the 10 warriors that have fallen to take back to our people for a proper celebration of their glorious and honorable deaths in the name of Tempest and our people, and to give them their proper burial rites. Some of them, I'm guessing, are probably very well done barbecue. So, again, whatever we can recover of them, if it's just like an axe or a spear or something along those lines that we can get from them to take back to their families.
One is just a brick wall with a shadowed impression on it.
That was terrifying.
Pulls a brick out.
Just like dust a little bit of it off into a box.
What are we going to tell the other towns?
The attack is done for now. People are as safe as they can be. We should be vigilant, though, and set up watch.
Well, we were kind of hoping that you could go around and check for mind flare inhabitants.
There's no one left.
Why?
Not here, but in the other towns.
Can you see underground?
Not from... I mean, it depends on how deep. What are you talking about?
Well, the corpse of the commander said that the threat was underground.
Or did he say his base was underground?
The base.
The stronghold of these mind flayers, locally at least, appears to be somewhere underground. And given what we found out about the digging earlier, 3 years ago, it would seem reasonable that it would be somewhere under this city.
I've
or
got an
town.
idea.
Hamlet.
And I pull out the scroll of the comet.
No. No, we discussed
I mean,
this.
let's be honest. Dougan's hole has always been more of Dougan's shithole.
So for those of you who don't know, at the end of the last campaign, they had procured a scroll of comet, which basically summons what is the D&D equivalent to a nuke, and it destroys, I think, everything within like 500 feet or whatever. It's more, it's an
That's
ICBM,
correct.
really.
No, the new's the
Radius
other
of
one.
500.
Yeah, the other one.
The
is
radius
new.
is 500.
The radius of the thing, the radius is 5, which means 1,000-foot diameter circle of destruction.
50.
That would easily encompass, by the way, like Dougan's hole. I mean,
Well,
it
you
would.
could be strategic about it.
You could- whatever you want with it. You're
These
I thought you were-
people
yeah.
aren't even dead 20 minutes, and you're going to incinerate their
Hey.
what remains of them.
I mean,
might have a better idea.
I understand 9 towns doesn't sound as good, but it's better than no towns.
Okay, get inspiration. You're earning it.
Yes, that's good job. Those 9 towns. That's great. Rather than using this power to destroy the entire town that people have worked so hard to rebuild, why don't we find this entrance that was dug and go underground?
Well, sure, if you want to do it the hard way.
Well, this is unfinished business.
Here's the point. Pretty sure the meteor would just like implode the ground by a lot. And it would
But
just,
what if
like-
it's not deep enough? What if we just destroy the town and there's
Says here it
more?
goes 50 feet. That's pretty deep.
What if it's 100 feet? What if it's 200 feet? What if it's deeper than that? And we leave the infestation that's plaguing 10 towns and Icewind Dale unchecked, destroying one of 10 towns, and then having to use the name 9 towns going forward.
formerly known as 10 towns.
All right.
The town's
all right.
formerly known as 10 towns.
So-
We can't just leave this to chance.
So you're saying we need to find this entrance, and we need to see what's going on down there.
Yes.
Any
This
idea
is,
where
this
we
is
should
our
start?
business. Here in Dougan's Hole.
Yeah, but where? I mean, it's underground. There's got to be an entrance somewhere.
Exactly.
So remember that one lady a long time ago that was in prison that cut off her husband's hands and sewed it to her face?
I tried
Every
to
single
forget
night.
The one that
regularly.
mysteriously died in prison.
She,
I haven't slept
Horrific
since.
experience.
yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm pretty sure she had memories or told you about the holes being dug in someone's house.
Oh, yes. I think I remember.
these?
Oh,
It's hard.
yes.
I can't just get the image out of my head. It was disgusting.
And they were just like, "Oh," in
I
front
know,
of her
one
face.
of them
But
had a
our
long
sound guys they all just made the most awesome. They're all like shocked and abhorred. Like even hear that they cut off her husband's hand and set it to her face. They're all like, "Oh my god, what is this game?"
And that's when they realized it wasn't a family show.
It was not a family show.
To be fair, if you like lick your lips with those on there, you're like licking someone's hands, and it's just weird.
Dude,
Yeah,
why
finger
do you
looking good.
remind us of that horrible thing? And one of the nails hadn't been trimmed. And
But she's dead now, so it's okay.
He
All right,
has
can
a
we
point,
stop
though.
talking about it? The point is that there's an entrance in one of, well,
In someone's
there
house.
was an entrance in one of these houses, but now they're pretty much all just rubble.
Well, they were rubble before, and they're rubble again.
Well,
Nothing's changed since the
Well, now
last
they're
time we
the
encountered
charred
this.
rubble.
it's just wood
This is what
and
Dougan's
ash.
Hole always looked like.
Here's what we'll do. I'll send my warriors back with their brother's remains to our people.
Wait a minute, can your warriors do that whole detect evil thing that you do?
I'm sorry, what?
You know, like you can tell if there's like a mind flare because it's like evil or something with your
No, that is a
Tempest.
blessing that Tempest has given to me.
No, just you.
His blessing is on me. His hand has been on me this entire time. He
Right,
while he
yeah, I
blesses
get it.
my
Yep.
warriors with victory and
Yes,
glory.
you talk about this all the time. We get it. So you have this ability to detect these evil presences. You know how far you
I
can
can
do
detect the fiends and the plagues upon the world that anger tempests in their very existence here. Yes.
that. Okay, so about how far underground could one of these plagues and fiends be for you to detect them?
Well, if it's through a thick amount of dirt and stone, I wouldn't be able to see anything.
How thick?
What?
1 foot? 2 foot?
But you have this
3
god
foot?
who can give you this
About
ability,
a foot
but
of dirt,
4 feet? Oh, okay.
a
about
foot?
an inch of lead.
That's useless.
Let me read the description of detect evil and
I think
good.
you're right. It's about.
Yeah.
I think it's about a foot of dirt or stone.
Yeah,
or
it's like
wood.
about a foot. There's like
Yeah.
3 foot of wood, like a foot of dirt or like stone, like.
Basically, he can't go 1,000 feet down. If that's like your question.
Yeah, like I
It's
wouldn't
not
be
like
able to see if there was 60 feet under the earth within the range of the spell. Technically, I still wouldn't be able to see it because there's too much dirt, stone, bedrock, all of that in the way. I can see through walls, but like I have to be in the same building. I can't see it like 3 buildings away if there's multiple walls in the way.
All right. So that whole thing won't work.
No,
Well, it says something. Well,
it'll work fine when I'm close.
well, yeah, but I mean,
nearby.
we don't know which house it could be. And it's like a foot. If the entrance is more than a foot underground, there's no mind flayers in the entrance, and it's not really that useful.
Or we could go scrambling through the rubble and actually look for it with our
Okay.
eyes.
Well, we could, but what else we got? Come on, Orion, you do things. Come on, no bad
I
ideas.
got an idea. We could sit on the ground right now and start digging a hole with our
One
hands.
bad
I'm gonna
idea.
kneel down and I'm just going to start digging a hole. Look at this. It works. It works.
Just let him.
Njord gives him a look as if to say, "Have you lost your fucking mind?"
I mean, to be fair,
And then that's when we got
What are you doing?
demonetized.
I'm being sarcastic. Trying it out.
A town has been burnt. Innocents have been killed. Some of my men have died in the pursuit of defending 10 towns, and you're digging in the dirt like a child at a beach.
Wasn't that your idea?
Yeah. You want to dig a hole in the
No,
ground?
I want to find a way to
'Cause you said
find
your
where
thing
these things
doesn't
are
work.
coming from. We know that Dougan's hole is where they were to begin with.
But
We find the entrance and we go underground. The 5 of us. This is our problem. We left this undone.
Okay, but where do we? What you
Our
said?
That's what I was trying to say. Is like,
Should
where do
be
we
this.
start? Like, with everything's burned.
Your men stay here, searching for the entrance. We go prepare, grab whatever we must before an extended expedition. Then we come back. They, having found the entrance, direct us to it, and then we will enter the lair of the beast, find them, and kill them.
I don't think that's gonna be good enough. I mean, look, I'm assuming there's a ton of buildings.
Also, my men
Well-
are taking their companions back to be properly buried.
You wish to search?
Ourselves.
So
this is our problem. We
5
left
of
this
us?
undone. Yes.
This is a danger of the entire region.
Yes. Which is up to us to handle. We didn't do anything with this back when the rhyme was still in existence.
Do you have everything you need for an extended expedition below the surface of the world?
Yes.
On you?
Yes. Don't you?
Well, yes, but I also don't stay home much.
Don't you have any spells to detect secret entrances or something?
I have the ability to scry if I prepare it, but that requires a target or something associated with the target.
Ah, so we find the mind flare and then we follow it. Home, back into its hive.
You realize these are
Hey, there are no bad ideas here. Come on, we're
they're
just
psionic
spitballing.
creatures. They would probably
You
know.
just said I had bad ideas.
Well, that was a bad idea.
There's
Just-
about 40
you're not wrong.
buildings in the town total.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too many. Well, Nasher, you're sitting awfully quiet and
If we're going to clear away the rubble and look for an entrance to an underground lair, we can either start right now, or we can go back to a closer town, say East Haven, find some workers, because we have an inn with the...
mead.
Sure, good mead. Might have fewer people, but they might be able to help us. And then we can begin excavating the rubble and looking for an entrance to the underground lair.
It would also allow us to gather the bodies together. Rather than let them just rot out in the open.
We won't want to leave this place unattended.
Precisely.
Thought I was overbearing people from dragons.
Yeah, right. We just had the last funeral. Ay, 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 at this stuff.
You're not kidding. Spent 3 years training to prepare to fight devils, and instead, it's all squiddly face. And then Whatever these discount goblins are.
So what are you guys going to do?
I think it sounds like we're going to be heading back to the villages, back to the towns.
So you gather up your warriors and their deceased brethren. You gather the rest of your materials, thrown weapons and other things, and make your way north, heading towards Goodmead.
Before we do that, do you want to just teleport back to the main city or no? I can take 5 of us. Saves time.
I mean, do we want to go? Are we going to? Yeah, I would say we can do that. Give my orders to my men to carry them to East Haven, and then
because we have more supplies in the main city. We're looking to supply.
I know, but
I don't think we need to go that far.
Okay.
we don't need to go that far. Our plan was to go to Goodmead or East Haven at the very least, and I want to be with my people. Like, these are my men that I brought. These are my men that I want to take home to bury. So
Didn't know if you had anything at your shop you needed, or like potions.
I'm
I might
ready.
Need, or you've left.
All set.
Okay. Rations.
I'm a man who lives in the wild. I have everything I need on me at all times.
I'm just making sure we're all good to go.
So you guys are not teleporting?
Sounds like we're walking to Goodmead.
Okay. Now, those
You
of you
may walk.
those of you
I'm gonna ride with him.
those of you who passed through Goodmead before, you didn't see a lot of people around in the town. That makes sense because there's a dragon attacking, and typically they're running away or hiding. As you come into town now, however, Linus, you notice. So you guys, as you recall, the region, there is a small woods that is to the kind of northwest of Dougan's Hole and Goodmead. This is the same woods that you had deposited what you thought at the time were refugees, or you saved these people. And so as you guys are traveling along the road, you are basically passing along next to this wood. As you guys are getting near the edge of town, Linus, you notice off to the side in the woods, you can see there is a figure just standing there and kind of watching you. It seems to be like a young man, something like 12 or 13, and he's just kind of watching you as you guys walk.
I'm gonna approach him.
Okay, so you dismount off of the Griffin and make your way over to...
Oh yeah. Hold on a second. I gotta take a piss.
Again, blasted old man.
I'm hydrated. I always hydrate after a battle. Now that's an Iron Wolf thing we need to do. I always tell you guys we can't cramp up. Anyway, can we land so I can pee? I don't feel like I have to explain myself to you every time my body needs to do a function.
Wind Chaser, take us down so he will stop talking.
Okay. You alight to the ground and make your way out into the woods.
I do not pee in front of the child, just to be clear.
As you make your way towards the child, and he's kind of difficult to notice. He's not just standing right on the edge of the wood. He's like several trees and like kind of hiding in the darkness of the trees itself. And as you approach and kind of move into the trees, you walk right by him, and he doesn't even look at you. He's just fixed on the rest of your group as they're passing on the road, and he's just fixed on them as you kind of walk up to him and next to him.
You all right, son? You lost?
He doesn't say anything. He just stares blankly into the road.
Are you from Dougan's Hole? I hope not.
You hear a voice. It's not the kid. Leaning against a tree, kind of further in, on the far side of the tree, you see a hand kind of gesture out, a feminine hand with a black necklace kind of hanging on it. I don't know what you said to get that dragonfly away. But
Whoa.
that was quite exciting. You recognize the Elysia.
Oh my goodness. I told it's you and the timing. You just have the perfect timing, don't you?
Did you kill all of them?
Did we kill all the alien things? I think so.
That's
Well,
good.
you know me. You know, leader of the Iron Wolves, hero of 10 towns. Do you expect anything less?
You know, I don't.
I've told you the stories.
You have. You are quite powerful. And you know, so powerful, in fact, I still have to ask, why is it that you travel with this group anyway? Aren't you strong enough to just leave them behind?
Well, you know, they may be rough around the edges, but they need some wise leadership, you know.
I don't know. I think they're holding you back.
Hold me back. No, I mean, every king needs, you know, an army. That's how I do what I do.
I guess that's true.
I get people around me to do things. Why are you always taking that angle? You're always doing this. Where did you come from anyway? How did you get here? Have you seen Walter?
Details. Listen, none of that's really important. What's important is that you got rid of them, which is... I can't express to you how grateful I am, really, that you saved Dougan's Hole and really all of towns. Who's to say? Who's to know what would happen next if you hadn't scared away that dragon the way you did?
Oh, I mean, when you're right, you're right. I am extremely brave.
Because, you know, that dragon didn't leave until you showed up.
That's true. Because you know what? I didn't flinch. I look it in the eye. And that was an old dragon. The older ones are the worst kind. And I looked in the eye, and he flew right away. Gone.
That's right. You're very, very strong.
That's what they tell me. So anyway, what's up with this kid? Did you do this to him?
Oh, looks like he's just watching.
I'm going to smack him around a little bit. Hey, kid.
You cuff him. You cuff him in the ear. His head cocks to the side and then just slowly raises up.
Oh,
and he just
no,
continues
not
to
this
stare.
again. I've seen this before.
There's no answer.
You didn't do something to him.
You turn and look. She's gone.
From the edge of the forest. Linus, how much did you drink?
Well, actually, you better come take a look at this. No, not that. Come over here.
You call out to all of us or just
Yeah, if you guys are around, I'll call everybody.
so we're all together?
Yeah, so you guys all flock into the woods to come see whatever it
You
is
know,
Linus
if
is
it's
calling you to.
red or brown, you're not in a healthy way.
Definitely brown.
Just get over here.
What's brown?
Big poop. Linus has a big poop.
I guess.
Been constipated, I guess.
There's nothing strange about that. Big. Who doesn't poop in the woods?
Civilized people.
There is
Mammoths.
a young man sitting before you, about 12. As you approach, he's just staring blankly past you. You all have a pit in your stomach. You've seen people look like this before.
What?
They
Can
were-
you remind me what town it was that we saw this before?
They were in Dougan's Hole, and they were standing at the
And you
standing
murdered all of them.
stones.
I did murder all of them.
Liberated.
We've
Freed them.
This look familiar to you guys?
Then you're up.
Unpleasantly.
Are you detecting any evil?
Okay, spoiler alert, man.
It's a fair question.
It is a fair question.
I'm going to use my Amulet of Warning and Awareness to cast Detect Evil and Good.
You detect.
I'm going to put him behind me.
Oh.
I'm going to put Linus behind me because I know what the
Hey,
answer
get
is.
your
with
hands
that.
off me.
But it's like, stand here. I need a clear reading.
Okay. So you gather your group and you kind of move them out of the way. And you reach out with your amulet to detect if there's anything before you. There is a young man, and you detect no presence of undead, fiend, or aberration.
Celestial?
Or celestial.
Or elemental?
Nope.
Okay. We can go down the Fae.
It doesn't affect all creature types, does it?
All outsiders.
Oh.
Anything that would be outside of this normal plane, other than, so like beasts, monstrosities, and
okay.
humanoids, it wouldn't detect, but pretty
You
much
do not
anything
detect
else.
the presence of any kind of outsider.
Okay.
Well,
I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on him.
Aha. Okay.
3rd level.
You cast a Dispel Magic, and nothing happens.
He does not appear to be under the effect of any possession or infestation that I can see.
I'll put
no
my
magic.
crossbow away.
I've been here. We have been here before.
True.
And what did we do last time?
No,
We walked away.
That's right, we walked away.
We walked away.
we left them.
I presume they died in the cold.
Because we tried to move them, and they just moved right back and just stared.
It was very irritating.
They were staring in direction.
Does anyone remember which direction they were?
Wait.
North, south, east, west.
They weren't all staring in the same direction?
No, there was one standing east, looking each way.
Gotta mean something.
Are there any other people around, Levi?
It's just you and this child.
And the child. I'm talking about further into the woods.
Mm-hmm. You look further into the woods. Give me a perception check.
$24.
You can see about 60 feet away or so is another individual. Seems like this person's back is to you.
I see it again. Look there, through the trees. Past that fern bush there, the big one. See the back of that man?
Yes.
Facing the opposite direction, facing west. If we look further, I'm sure we'll find somebody looking north and somebody looking south. Same as the obelisks. Speaking of obelisks, we should look for those as well around here. Something's not right.
Well, that much is
Orion
clear.
gives you an expression and just kind of gestures at the burning village.
I'm gonna look to the south to
I have
see
an
if I
8
can see someone over
intelligence.
there.
I don't put 2 and 2 together all the time.
You look to the south and kind of putting 2 and 2 together. And with your passive perception, it's very easy. You can see you see the back of somebody over there. It's like an old woman in the trees, just staring, sitting her back is to you. So apparently looking out to the south.
Yep, sure enough, just like last time. What does it mean, though?
Well, I know a way to fix it.
And
Wait, you do? How do you fix it, Finn?
Same as last time, and I already told you.
Leave them
so he-
behind?
Well, he tried dispel magic on them. Looking through my spell list, I could bestow a curse. I have lesser restoration. Did I use that last time?
I've got greater restoration.
You have greater restoration?
I give that
We
a
can-
whirl.
Well, let me try lesser restoration first, and then if that doesn't do anything, so I cast lesser restoration on the boy.
Nothing seems to happen. He's just
All right, stand back, and I'll cast greater restoration.
okay. You cast Greater Restoration, and as you do, the boy's eyes suddenly roll up into his head, and he falls to the ground.
Linus,
Did I do the
what
wrong?
did you do?
I might have done the wrong spell. Hold on.
Did you just cast Finger of Death?
You cast Greater
I don't-
Restoration?
Yeah, why would that be bad?
That's a lot of diamonds and gold dust you used.
There's material.
Hundreds.
Oh, what is
Diamond worth at least 100 gold piece.
No, I don't read those
things. Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Let me double check lesser.
That was a very expensive kid. Don't worry. I'll move the budget around in East Haven. They'll never notice. I've been embezzling for 3 years.
What?
That's East Haven, right? It holds.
Vote for Linus!
For Linus.
For 3 years, vote for Linus.
Orion just gives you a deadpan look and then kind of looks back at the kid.
Well, he's
Still breathing.
No, he's dead.
Oh my gosh, I would have cast it. I would have cast Spurs Dying.
Wait, do you think he just died or was he already
I have
dead?
no idea. We're going to try it.
He
Okay.
was
Well, we can always revive
breathing
him.
before.
He was standing there breathing before, and Linus walked over and cast Greater Restoration on him. His eyes, instead of staring straight ahead, rolled up into his head, and he collapsed instantly to the ground.
My God, Linus, you've done it. You've killed a child.
Does anyone have a diamond's worth of 300 gold pieces? Or revive him. Anyone have diamonds worth 300 gold pieces?
You
Well,
think I
I'm
killed
kind of
a
already
dumb
pretty
person?
deep into this.
We'll revive him and ask him what happened.
Well, I'm just
to him.
saying someone else can fund this one.
Can you talk? Wait,
I can speak with Dad, but do we want to revive this child?
you think I keep diamond on me?
You said you were ready to go, so I just don't know.
My spells don't require that.
Mine do, and I have 6 gold, so...
Sorry, not all of us are funded by a church.
I have 6 gold, that's it.
He just said, not all of us are funded by the Church of what? The homeless?
The
Crying out
church of the
loud.
extreme poor.
You do realize that I come
Poverty
from the town where pickpocketing is legal. I don't carry that much on me.
Wait, so you're
right.
telling me you go
Guess we
into...
can- You want
Never
to...
mind. I mean,
This
at this
child as
point,
well?
there's no saving him.
At this point, there's no saving.
He was probably a bad kid.
So good. I love.
Don't think about it too much.
Can I, as
First
they're
time?
arguing, can I use just my general knowledge of medicine to determine the cause of death?
Sure, yeah. Make a medicine check and see if you can figure out why he died. That's a
proficient?
great,
I'm
that's a great
proficient.
idea. Here's a dead body. Let's examine it.
What? Standard
I'm
cardiac
proficient
arrest.
in that,
It's
so
every
I can
movie does that.
help
Well,
if you want me
I
to.
have a +9 in it, so I can also help you.
All right, you can roll with advantage because it seems like as you lean down to examine the body, your allies stop their bickering for a moment enough to give you assistance.
Cool. That's an 18.
Okay. Physically, there's nothing wrong with this kid. There's no lacerations. There's no bruising. Nothing like that. There's what you do notice, however, is that there is a faint. There is some blood coming out of his nose, but otherwise he seems perfectly fine. Whatever it is that killed him was something internal.
Well, I think you guys know what we have to do. It's going to be very uncomfortable. We got to look inside this kid's skull.
Well,
You can't be serious.
can we talk to him first?
Well,
before
let's
you-
see what happened to his some mind flayer situation.
We know what happens with mind flayers. They pop. They transform. Their
Okay,
host.
this
I
kid
detected
just
for
falls
that.
dead.
There was no aberration. There was no
Precisely.
fiend. He wasn't undead at the time that he died.
Okay, we are not mutilating the child that Linus just
He's
killed.
already dead.
Lighting my incense,
Okay.
burning it.
Linus is gonna, or Finn is gonna go ahead and cast.
For
Speak with
science.
Dead. The last one.
What's that?
I'll wave it over. Come back, you little shit.
I love the spell. There's a prayer moment there, and then the kid suddenly says up.
Okay, party. I'm asking you this. We get to answer a handful of fingers questions. All right. Last time was 5, so I'm assuming it's 5. What do we want to ask this child?
Where is the entrance?
Ask anything you want.
Fucking done with my life. What do you want to? All right.
What is the last thing he remembers?
What's the last thing you remember?
Going to bed.
Where you from, kid? Can I ask, or does it have to be
no,
you?
me. It has
Oh,
to be
okay.
me.
Ask him. Well, don't ask that.
I think he's from right over there.
Where is he from? Just
Where are
confirm.
you from?
Good me.
Okay, well there you go. Should we ask him if he knows where the entrance is at? Oh no, that's too generic.
No,
Well, if he woke
that's,
up-
that's in Dougan's hole.
Last thing he remembers is going to sleep.
I'm not sure he's going to be useful here.
We could just leave him.
Just like
find
semi-alive
his-
with no.
We could find his parents.
Oh, who are your parents?
Jack and Jill.
That's easy. Just find a hill and there we go.
The DM.
Either that or a
names off the spot.
beanstalk.
I think we have like one more question.
Why
like
is
two
he
more, I think.
in the
2 or
woods
3.
here?
Why are you in the woods here?
I must stand and watch.
We have one more question.
Yeah.
Watch for what?
Well, I'm assuming he's going to be watching for people, right?
What,
Perhaps.
what is he watching for?
Were
Perhaps
you-
he's guarding something.
What is he watching?
What are you watching for?
Anything. Everything.
Maybe
And then he just crumples.
Little prayer.
Now, if we're sure we don't want to investigate further, okay, we're sure we're not going to investigate this child's brain further. What if they're guarding an entrance?
Yes.
What if we go to the center point between the four of them and we dig around a little bit?
Sounds good to me.
Oh, wow. So digging around
Worth a
earlier
shot.
was crazy, but digging around now makes sense.
Well, now we have a reason and a spot to dig. We're not just digging aimlessly.
Oh, okay.
I want to try something, Levi.
Okay.
So I didn't detect the mind flare or tadpoles or anything like that. No actual presence of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the person who is standing on the north side of what I assume would be the circle, since we know that there's three of them that we detected besides the boy.
Mhm.
And I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good, which says if the creature is under the effect of one of those types of creatures, aberrations, fey, fiend, undead, including possessions or mind control, charmed effects, that sort of thing, they get another save with advantage. If they are under some sort of mind controlling effect by one of these outside creatures. I want to see if these creatures are under a mind controlling or possession effect.
Protection from evil and good is a spell?
Protection from Evil and Good is the spell.
Why would they die when you greater restoration them?
That is a good question that we can determine the result of later. But knowing if they're mind controlled or possessed at least gives us a clue into what is going on.
Okay. That might...
Let's say immediately die.
check something out here.
They might have a cursed item on them.
A curse item, or there might be some sort of trigger
Wouldn't he be able to
breaking the
detect
mind
that, though?
control. Like there's a link that's created.
Wouldn't that cursed item detect as evil?
Yes, a cursed item or unhallowed ground would also detect as evil.
So it can't be that.
Yeah, I would have seen that as well. I mean, I can detect magic, but I mean, we have other...
I dispelled magic.
You dispelled magic, so it's not a magical effect, but protection from good and evil specifically negates the effects of outside creatures, unnatural creatures like undead, etc.
I mean, we tried everything then.
Yeah.
You find the man who is facing north, and as you cast your spell, nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
Good try.
With the effects of the spell, though, can I make a... My character's not intelligent. He's just trying to do what he can do, but he's trying to make a determination about this. Does it... I guess I'm... Is there a way that Njord can see if it is the will of the person being too weak, or if it's just that the spell has no effect? That if the blessing from Tempest...
I'll tell you what, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Or, I'll say an Insight, your choice.
Both suck.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. Insight is a +1 as opposed to Arcana, which is a +1. Or no, the other way around. +1 and -1. Oh, okay. 14 with an Insight check.
There was a slight... You perceived it seems a slight like flicker in his face and expression before he resumed his seemingly like catatonic like stare.
He comes back to the rest of the party. You guys discuss what you're doing while he digests the information. Again, he has an 8 intelligence. He's trying to figure things out.
Yeah, so while he was doing that, I am keep looking at the other 3, or I guess the 4 points, and trying to guess what about the midpoint would be between them. And then I'm searching the area for like footprints or any like dirt that's been moved, like holes dug. I'm
Orion
using my
will also
ridiculous
investigate.
perception to do that.
Okay. So you begin investigating the woods, more or less. So give me we'll go investigation check as you begin to scrounge around looking for things. And you're helping, so you can roll with advantage.
Much better. It's a 25.
Okay. As you are making your way around, you do find there is a sort of cliff that kind of comes up, a small little bluff within the forest itself, and there is a cave that is there that seems to go in, and more or less, and you would say is kind of in the center of these 4 individuals.
Aha! Look here. I think we found an entrance.
Or a
No
burrow.
reaction? Okay.
Or
Where?
a burrow. We can only check it out. Let's see how deep it goes.
You think it's a coincidence that this just happens to be right in the center of these 4 mesmerized people?
It's incredibly unlikely, but
Certainly worth a look.
A partial look.
Well, then after you.
Very tapped out on abilities.
We should probably at least rest somewhat before entering. I can send my men on ahead to send word of what we're doing.
Well, I mean, do you detect anything in this region? Can you do your thing?
What thing?
The thing with the evil, they can detect the entrance is right there. There's nothing in between, so want to make sure there's not like a mind flare like right we can't see.
You could see it if it was right there.
Well, it's dark. Okay, never
Use a
mind.
torch.
Well, I didn't want to let them all know that we're here.
torch. Can't you all see in the dark?
Well, I can now. I put on my goggles. I'm going to just poke my head in and look around.
It is cave.
It is cave.
It is cave. It goes deep.
I want to cast
Oh, it goes deep, all right.
Banshee scream.
You
What?
hear a banshee scream echoing off the walls, and it seems to just go deeper and deeper into the cave itself.
Whoa, look at you guys. That was a banshee.
Didn't we
So-
just say we wanted to rest before getting ourselves into more trouble?
I'm sorry. Couldn't help myself.
Well, now if this is a
You
hive
hear
full of mind flayers, they know we're here.
rumbling from within the cave,
That's not me.
Oh, great. You woke the bear.
and stepping forward into the dim light is an owl bear. And that is where we will end.